From Milan, Italy, this is the 2026 Winter Olympic Games live right here on YouTube. And in this game, there is nowhere left to hide. There's no tomorrow, no reset, no excuses. This is the gold medal game. Hello, one and all. My name is Jaric Rubel. So delighted to have you with me here bright and early in North America for what is set to be a historic hockey game between the United States and Canada. This right here is truly the main event. The final medals of these Olympics are to be handed out in this hockey game, and it will be decided as two unbeaten teams from two hockey nations that define this sport collide in a rematch that has been anticipated for a full calendar year. So these two teams have not lost a single game here in Milan. Now they meet with Olympic gold on the line in a rematch of last year's Four Nations final, and with even bigger implications on the ice and far beyond it. As the American women captured gold earlier this week in overtime, the stakes tonight are emotional and unmistakable. Canada arrives here after surviving a semifinal that tested every ounce of their resolve. They were down 2-0 to the Finns, and they were pushed to the brink before responding with 3 unanswered goals from Sam Reinhart, Shea Theodore, and then the decisive blow that came from Nathan MacKinnon on the power play. And it was a comeback fueled by urgency, experience, and the belief that Canada simply does not break when medals are on the line. The United States path was far more direct. The Americans struck first versus Slovakia in the semifinal and never looked back. It was a 6-2 win led by 2 goals from Jack Hughes, and that sent Team USA to the gold medal game without ever having to trail. But history does loom over this moment between these two teams. Last February, at the Four Nations Face-Off Final in Boston, Team USA had beaten Canada earlier in that tournament up in Montreal. But when everything was on the line, it was Canada that prevailed in overtime on American soil as Connor McDavid ended it, and another chapter was written in this storied rivalry. Date back 15 years prior to the McDavid goal, it was February 28, 2010, when Sidney Crosby delivered one of the most iconic moments in hockey history in overtime of the Olympic gold medal game on home ice in Vancouver. Crosby took a perfect pass and beat American goaltender Ryan Miller to score the named golden goal, lifting Canada to a 3-2 victory over the United States in overtime. And in an instant, the pressure of a nation had vanished, and Crosby's legacy was forever cemented, not just as a superstar, but as a player who delivered when an entire country was holding its breath. Which brings us to the big moment here in this game before it starts. Will Sidney Crosby play in the gold medal game? Canada's captain missed the semifinal with a leg injury. He practiced yesterday at about 70%. Connor McDavid, who wore the C in the semifinal, said, quote, he was just keeping it warm for Sid. But Sidney Crosby in this game is not going to play. He was unable to go. He said that if he could not feel he could compete to his full ability and help this team, he wanted another 13th skater to go out there. So that's exactly what will happen, and it'll be the same lineup for Team Canada as it was in the semifinal, and they're going to need answers from everywhere, from the depth, from the defense, and from a group that cannot rely on the top line like they did against Finland, but they know that they could roll 4, and Jordan Binnington in the blue paint has delivered in big moments before, but he cannot do this one alone. For the U.S., the mission is simple and historic. They have not faced the same adversity as Canada. They've had a healthy roster and just one tight game against Sweden. Otherwise, they've controlled with confidence and pace, and now they're 60 minutes away, perhaps more, from their first Olympic gold in men's hockey since 1980. The Hughes and Tkachuk brothers have driven the identity of Team USA, but in this game, more is required. We're going to need more from Matt Boldy, more from Jake Gensel, more from JT Miller, whom have all been quiet in this tournament, and head coach Mike Sullivan needs those contributions across the lineup. And looming behind it all is their last line of defense. Connor Hellebuck, a perfect 4-0 in goal in Milan with a .947 save percentage, finally delivering in the moments that define careers after struggling long-term in the Stanley Cup playoffs back in the NHL. Canada struggled to solve elite goaltending too in this tournament, as they've struggled throughout the knockout round, and then in the rounds here in the semis and the quarterfinals, they struggled against UC Saros and Lukáš Dostal. So Hellebuck here is going to be another big test in the way of Canada, as he is also the current Hart and Vezina Trophy winners from last season in the NHL. Then there are legacies that are waiting to be shaped in this game. Perhaps Hellebuck could be one of them, or can Macklin Celebrini have that moment for Team Canada? I mentioned it was Crosby in 2010, it was McDavid last year. Now it's Celebrini, another generational talent with a chance to decide Olympic gold. He's only 19 years old, and in this tournament, he's got himself a whopping 5 goals and 5 assists for 10 points, just one iconic shift away from history. And on the other side for the Americans, Auston Matthews, can he silence every doubter? He's been criticized, questioned, and asked for more. And tonight is a chance to redefine his narrative, not just as a scorer, but as a complete player when it matters most. So buckle up, folks. These next 3 hours are gonna be intense. It's gonna be elation for one country. It'll be heartbreak for another. Unbeaten versus unbeaten. The maple leaf on one chest and 3 sacred letters on the other. It's Team Canada, Team USA, with Olympic gold on the line. You're listening to the 2026 Winter Olympic Games with Jaric Rubel live on YouTube, starting goaltenders and the drop of the puck coming up in 30 seconds. Jaric Rubel back with you here live on YouTube as we get set to begin this gold medal game between the United States and Canada. Before the puck drops, let's look at the starting goalies. Jordan Binnington in winner-take-all games, 5-1 in his career in these Olympics. He has a 4-0 record with a 1.74 goals against and 914 save percentage. He's allowed 7 goals on 81 shots. He'll be opposed at the other end by the reigning Hart Trophy and Vezina Trophy winner Connor Hellebuck. 4-0 this tournament for him, 1.23 goals against average, 947 save percentage, and 5 goals against on 95 shots. Each of these two goalies has a winner-take-all game against one another last year. Binnington in the Four Nations, and then Hellebuck in Game 7 for the Jets against the St. Louis Blues. And we'll see who gets the better of one another in this Olympic gold medal game. The referees for today's game, it's Gord Dwyer and Chris Rooney. The linesmen, Scott Cherry and Ani Hadamaki, as we are set for face-off in Milan. McKinnon with Celebrini and McDavid for Team Canada in the black maple leaf on their chest, red sweaters with white lettering and numbers. Eichel with the Tkachuk brothers in the white USA sweaters with the blue numbering on the back and the white lettering on the nameplates. And the face-off is dropped. McKinnon wins it. We're underway in the gold medal game. So McKinnon snaps it on in. Down to our left is Canada. Going right to left in this first. America's able to get it out as Brady Tkachuk turns it down to our right as they attack left to right. On the far wall, puck thrown right towards Binnington. Came up the near boards. Be played along it by Faber. Now in behind Colton Parayko couldn't grab it. Came to the far boards now in the Canadian zone where Eichel takes a smash from McDavid on the far wall. Puck pops free to the slot. Came to Gensel. Gensel waiting in the slot. Eichel a shot and that got the glass. Came to the far wall for McDavid. McDavid hit hard there by Eichel off the puck and a turnover. Here's Boldy. Boldy laid it at the near corner for Gensel, who takes a look. Backhands it around the Canadian goal. Quinn Hughes. Hughes now in the slot. Boldy a shot and that got the end boards. Poked to the corner by Binnington. Gensel on that loose puck. Centered it here now for Boldy. This way Matthews. It was too hot to handle. Played it up this way for McAvoy at the point. Along the boards for Boldy. Boldy to the net. Off a skate to Gensel. Gensel near circle. In the slot. Boldy was in front of him. Got it off the far wall. He'll ring it around the goal. It'll be met at the near point by McAvoy. Great shift here for Team USA. Matthews from way out and a block in the slot by Harley. Harley up the wall for Celebrini, and he's having trouble as Matthews hits him. Now Harley with the puck will ladle it to Parayko. They've been out here for almost a minute and a half, as now they will get out of their zone, and a pass on the near wing finds Sam Bennett, cut off though by McAvoy. At front of the penalty boxes, Tage Thompson couldn't keep it as Marchand will poke it deep. The Florida Panther line on the ice now as Tom Wilson actually joins Wilson and Bennett, or joins Bennett and Marchand, as Bennett from the near circle tried a shot save made Hellebuck as he'll get that with the glove with his first test, and he'll hold for a whistle with 18:23 to go in the game's opening period. So let's take a look at how Team Canada aligns in this game. As without Sidney Crosby, it's McDavid, Celebrini, and McKinnon on the top line. Suzuki with Stone and Marner, and then Bennett between Marchand and Wilson. And then Horvat with Jarvis, Hagel, and Reinhart rotating as the 13th forwards. Face-off 1-2 clean by Canada to the right of Hellebuck, so it comes all the way back down. Binnington will have to stick it up ahead. Goes into the American zone. Werenski pubs it back the other way, though. Now Nelson's trying to get in. Couldn't, though, as he went over the Canadian line. Lost it on the near side. It's flipped back out into American ice. Sanderson on the near wing couldn't clear. In that near corner, here's Jarvis. Jarvis across, and it's poked on net, and Hellebuck able to get on it as Horvat didn't get what he wanted on that puck. And now a little bit of extra happening here on top of the blue paint with 2:01 played here in the first period. So the fourth line for Canada with a good scoring opportunity. Their deep pairings tonight look as such as it's Taze with Makar, Harley with Parayko, and then Sanheim with Doughty, and Shea Theodore will rotate as the seventh defenseman. The American forwards, the Tkachuks with Eichel, Matthews with Gensel and Boldy. Then it'll be Larkin with Jack Hughes and Tage Thompson. Brock Nelson between Trocheck and JT Miller. Clayton Keller, the 13th skater. Defenseman Quinn Hughes with Charlie McAvoy. Jacob Slavin with Brock Faber. Zach Werenski with Jake Sanderson. And Noah Hannafin will be the extra defenseman in this game. Face-off won by the Americans to the right of Hellebuck. It's plopped out through neutral ice and grabbed by Taze at his own blue line. Played it off the far wing. Marner got it to center. Stone a touch pass for Devon Taze on the near side. Over the American line he goes, dropping for Suzuki, who rung it around the goal. Came up the far boards, and it'll be taken by Matthew Tkachuk, who's out with Eichel through center. Eichel cutting in wide on the near side. Put it into the slot. It's cut off there by Marner, or Suzuki I should say, and played back out to center. Slavin will wire that back in for Team USA. It'll be parked in the far corner and grabbed by Cale Makar as Team Canada makes changes with 2:40 gone by here in the first period. Good start for the Americans, but they're without a shot as they had a bunch of zone time in the first minute and a half, but no test for Binnington. On the near side in their own zone, McAvoy moves the puck out through neutral ice. The Canadians take back over, though, in their own zone as Harley looks to start up ahead. The Dallas Star goes up the near wall for Macklin Celebrini. McKinnon break into the goal, but the pass was in front of him. Far corner now McDavid to the point. Doughty's shot got blocked. Picked up now by Gensel. 2-on-2 the other way with Boldy. Boldy far wall hit by Parayko as he dumps it into the Canadian zone. Far wall, it bounces around. It's going to be collected by McDavid, who looks to activate. McDavid donning the C on his chest in the absence of Crosby, sends McKinnon up straight away into the zone. Dropped it in the slot. Harley across Celebrini, a shot and a save made there by Connor Hellebuck, moving to his left as he takes a whistle here with 16:40 to go in period number one. So that top line of McDavid, Celebrini, and McKinnon connecting there on a pretty zone entry, as this is something that they were struggling with against Team Finland. They were not able to have these controlled zone entries off the rush, and the Americans here let this top line work their way in cleanly and have a good scoring chance. Well, face off to the left of Hellebuck here, as it'll be Brock Nelson going up against Nick Suzuki, and off the tie-up, it's played to the corner, and the Americans will control on the far side. Behind the goal, it'll be Slavin waiting in the trapezoid from the Carolina Hurricanes. Jacob Slavin now started up ahead between the circles, up to neutral ice on the near side it goes. Off of Faber over the Canadian line, tying it up is Sanheim with JT Miller, and it plops back out the center, and the Americans will recoil. Far wall, Hannafin will tip it in. Into the corner it goes. JT Miller on his backhand, pinned to the boards by Travis Sanheim. Puck poked free now up near the point. It's played back down low behind the goal. Bennington will play it to the far corner. Theodore sticked it back up the far wall, not out. Hannafin played it right back to the circle. Lumberjacking at it was JT Miller, but it didn't get out near side. It's kept Faber back to the near corner. Played back up the wall, and now looking forward to Suzuki. He'll take it and scare it on out to center. Over the logo he goes. Far wall, he'll drop it for Stone from the far circle. A shot gloved out of the air by Hellebuck, who saw it all the way, who takes a whistle with 15:49 remaining here in a scoreless first period. So my name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you've joined me here live on YouTube early this morning for this gold medal game, the final game here of the 2026 Milan Winter Olympics. So this is now the 6th game in 6 days that I've brought you all. It's been a fun run here. It's only gotten better as the games have gone on. As face-off coming up here now to the left of Connor Hellebuck, as the American bench, some standing, some sitting, watching on here. As this first period, players starting to now settle in. As you know, the nerves were hitting most people in this big game. The Americans win the draw to the left of Hellebuck, carried up the far wall by Larkin, dumped on into Canadian ice. Puck rolls from behind the goal to the near wall where Tom Wilson moved it up, came to Cale Makar, nice toe drag to move it along to Taze at center. Taze from the red line will snap it on in. Hellebuck wants to play it. That's no good when he wants to, and it was almost a mishap. Up to the near point it goes Makar. Along the wall Wilson towards the net. Goes off the end boards and ricochets to the far. Here's Cale Makar now, cutting in deep. Being watched by Jake Sanderson. Makar plays it back behind the goal line. It's going to be left for Wilson, who just ran over Dylan Larkin as that was a car crash in behind. Meanwhile, puck flipped back out to center as Tom Wilson showing why he was put on this Canadian roster for that reason right there. Meanwhile, he just took a puck away from Jack Hughes, as now a big hit led to good defense, and he heads to change after a great shift. Meanwhile, Harley will snap one in for the Canadians from center. Around to the far boards it goes. Quinn Hughes plays it back to the near for McAvoy. McAvoy played it up. It's gotten crushed at center was Matthew Tkachuk, as the Canadians now are starting to hit the fourth line on the ice. Far wall now. Quinn Hughes moved it away from Jarvis, but the Canadians get it back at center. Pass on the near side for Horvat. Misses him. This will be an icing. And the whistle will go with 14:36 to go in the first period. Still no shots on goal for Team USA after that great shift to start in the first 90 seconds. As we look at that hit by Wilson here, who also fell over when he laid that hit, as he didn't leave his feet more, so he just fell forward and just drilled Dylan Larkin. Face off to Bennington's right. Matthews against Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat wins it clean to Parayko, who looks from the far corner and hoists one out to center. It goes past Charlie McAvoy into the American zone. They're going to call an icing here, as I thought maybe McAvoy could have gotten a body on that, but the linesman does blow the whistle. And 6 seconds after the last one, we get another whistle. 14:30 remaining. Again, no Crosby for the Pittsburgh Penguins, as he was the third player at age 38 plus to skate for Team Canada, looking for his third gold medal to go along with his 3 Stanley Cups, but not playing in this game. Canadians win a draw to the right of Bennington that Makar will flip out, or Parayko will flip on out to center, and now on the near wall, Boldy will snap it back in. Or it was Makar, as for some reason, they got the change off after the icing, which is impressive. So it's flipped back into the American zone. And in behind that American net, Quinn Hughes will leave it on the far wall. On that far wall, Matthews poked it away from McKinnon. Up it goes to Boldy, trying to split the D on Taze. He does. Boldy's in, and he scores! Matthew Boldy, highlight reel goal! And the Americans are up 1-0. Oh, Matthew Boldy, you've got to be kidding me. His second goal of the tournament as he splits through the top pairing of Taze and Makar for Canada. And Team USA at the 6-minute mark strikes first. So just good work by Matthews on the far wall. He poked that puck away from McKinnon, who looked to be keeping it into the zone. And with a bobbling puck over the Canadian line, Matt Boldy between Taze and McCarr fights free and gets to his backhand and lets it go right under the pad of Binnington. And Team USA has the all-important first goal in the gold medal game. So Boldy from Matthews and Quinn Hughes, as Quinn Hughes now is the only American in Olympic history to score in all 6 games, as he passes Zach Parise for the longest point streak, who had 5 in 2010. The Americans are hungry for more. In the near corner, Matthew Tkachuk got knocked off the puck, and now that allows McDavid free up the near wall with a ton of speed. Pivots over the American line. On the near boards, goes to the near corner for Sanheim. In front it goes, tipped by McKinnon, gloved down by Faber. Up the near circle, McDavid rather. Far wall. It's McKinnon now, looking for somewhere to go. In the slot, Sanheim got his stick tied up. It's free on top of the paint, cleared to the near corner. It'll be Slavin now on his backhand up the near boards. It gets out to center. And now Doughty couldn't get it, and now McKinnon safely got it to the far wall, and Sanheim will play it down in from between the benches. He heads to change. Hellebuck left it in behind, and it's shot up the far wall by Werenski, but he missed everybody with the pass, and that will be an icing with 7:01 played here in period number 1. So another look here at the Boldy goal as he flipped that puck over the Canadian line himself intentionally and bobbled it over and was able to fight free from Devon Taze. It was truly a sensational goal for Matthew Boldy. If the Americans win this game, and even if they don't, that's going to be one that we all watch for a long time, as long as the footage can be found, if you know what I mean. On the far wall, off a Canadian faceoff, went to the left of Hellebuck. Marner plays it around the goal to Harley. He'll get it back in that near corner. Mitch Marner played it off a skate to the net, and it got blocked in front. Gensel trying to clear, can't. It's going to be gloved down now to the stick of JT Miller on the near wing as he'll backhand it over the red line into the Canadian zone. Parayko on it first, behind his own net. Up the far wall, can't get it out. Werenski will keep it and slingshot it back deep. Behind is Binnington to play it back to his St. Louis teammate Parayko on the far wall. Up it goes far wing to Stone. On the logo, Suzuki will chip it in as he gets bumped. Behind the American net, it's grabbed by Hannafin. Behind it'll be left for Werenski now. Teammate of Johnny Gaudreau's in Columbus, as you know, he's weighing heavy on this American mind in this gold medal game, as Werenski up the near wing for Jack Hughes got his pass cut off. Back on the near walls, Bennett. Marchand will end up collecting. Lost it to Jack Hughes on the back check, who poked it free, and Team USA takes over in their own zone with 8 minutes gone by in this first period. Matthews on the assist to Matt Boldy's goal here to make it 1-0, as it was a great poke check off McKinnon's stick to start the rush the other way, as a little bit of defense led to offense, courtesy the USA captain. And here's their alternate captain now from Long Beach, New York, Charlie McAvoy, in his own zone, waiting for his mates to change. Quinn Hughes now straight ahead for Matthews. Matthews in, cutting to the far circle, avoids a stick check, played it behind the net now. Getting it in the near corners, Gensel with speed, played it up. McAvoy, one-timer, deflected save. Binnington as he got it with the trapper, and he will hold on for our first time out here in period number 1. The Americans up 1-0, courtesy Matthew Boldy, a highlight reel goal, as it was quite the effort to split the D on the Canadian top defensive pairing. Jaric Rubel back with you here live on YouTube. 1-0. Team USA is the Millis Mass native Matt Boldy with a sensational highlight reel goal as he was able to split the D of Taze and McCarr. And Team USA with the all-important first goal, as two Minnesota Wild players factor into the scoring on that one. Quinn Hughes, the secondary assist on Matthew Boldy's goal. Matthews got the primary assist as he poked it off McKinnon up ahead to Boldy. And that's how the Americans lead this game 1-0. Face off here to the left of Jordan Binnington, going to be pulled back by Matthews. On the near side, it's Boldy protecting against McCarr. Boldy here, looking to go up the wall. He got it taken away by Marchand. Marchand, though, got his stick lifted by Boldy, but now it's free to McCarr, who will just snap it in from the red line, and around the goal it'll go. From the far corner, a diving Marchand got it to the near side, but alertly Quinn Hughes backhanded it on the wall from Boldy. Boldy, an area play on the far side for Gensel. Good defensive stick by Taze to get it to the far corner. Poked up the wall. Bennett will get it up, and out to center is now Wilson twisted for Marchand. Marchand over the American line to the near circle. Had it poked off his stick nice there by Matthews. He got it back. Now got hit. Puck free in the slot. Matthews played it across. Here's Theodore. Far circle. This way Marchand couldn't get the shot away as it bounced off his stick. And he's having a tough time here now as he couldn't even keep it in the zone. So Boldy on the near side at the end of a shift just sent it on in. 10:38 to go in the first period as the Canadians move it back out to center. Sanheim touched it, but it's taken back by Team USA. Dumped in, no icing as Tkachuk's going to get there early. Matthew, that is, as Binnington from the trapezoid played it this way for Macklin Celebrini. His pass goes off of Brady Tkachuk's stick as he gets hit out on the near side. But over the lines, McKinnon created space near circle. Celebrini, a shot and a right pad save by Hellebuck. Rebound to Celebrini in the near corner. Left it along the wall for McKinnon. Played it back nicely in the slot. Celebrini, a shot, it got blocked. Free for McDavid in the slot. It's whacked away. Parayko, a drive, went through the blue paint. Came back up the near side now for Harley. Played it back for McKinnon. Across in the slot, cut off by Gensel, and he'll lift it sky high, bouncing all the way for an icing as he put a little too much on it. So 9:58 remaining in this first period as Team USA is up 1-0 on the goal by Matthew Boldy as he leads all Minnesota Wild or Team USA skaters with 32 goals this year as he's a member of the Minnesota Wild. And before the Olympic break, Boldy recorded the fastest hat trick in Wild history against the Nashville Predators, and he can join Austin Matthews and Chris Kreider as the only Americans with a 50-goal season since 98-99. He only needs 18 more to do it, and there's about 25 games left in the season, so we'll see if he could get there. The Americans win a D-zone draw following the icing, and Werenski from the far corner flips it down the ice, and it'll be good enough to let the Americans change. And back on the far wall, here comes Reinhart for Canada. Over the American line, he cuts in behind the goal. He gets sandwiched off the puck by Sanderson, so now they battle for it in the near corner. Sanderson's right skate poked it, but it came to Horvat. Throw it in front, and Hagel hit the side of the net on the short side. Free in the near corner is the puck. Played from behind the goal to the far for Hanifin from Sanderson. Cross ice on the near wing, it's Larkin. Dylan Larkin pulls up over the near side on the Canadian line. Threw it in. Tried to throw it down, though. It went off a skate to the far corner. Sanderson played it along to Jack Hughes, who gave it right back. Sanderson had to just hurry it deep. Came to the near corner for Tage Thompson. Pulls to his forehand, cutting through the trapezoid. Sanheim there, knocks him out of the play. And on the far wing, Horvat gets the free puck. Takes a bump from Larkin as it's backhanded into the near side of the American zone. Under 9 minutes to go. First period of play. Jaric Rubel here with you live on YouTube. Glad you've joined me for this all-important gold medal game between two storied hockey nations. On the far wall, Trocheck got his pocket picked nicely by Marner. On the re-entry, he has it far wall. Knocked away, though, by Trocheck. Kept in. McCarr, though, straight away. Threw it towards the net. Swallowed up by Hellebuck as he had Suzuki on top with a blue paint Larkin. But he was able to offer no second chance. And that will send us to another break here with just under 9 minutes remaining. First period of play, gold medal game. The United States up 1-0 over Canada. 1-0. The Americans lead it halfway through period number 1. Jaric Rubel back with you here on the Ultimate Sports Watchalong, as it's been a good one so far between the United States and Canada. Again, no Sidney Crosby for Team Canada and what could very well be his last Olympics, as when the next ones roll around, he will be 42 years of age, and while he's still playing at such an elite level, you never know how the next 4 years are going to go. And unfortunately, even as an American here, I am bummed that Sidney Crosby is not in this game. So face-off coming up here to the right of Connor Hellebuyck. McDavid against Trocheck. Top line for Canada, fourth line for the United States. Matthew Boldy with the goal, as he's also on the ice right now, as he's out there for the draws. Trocheck's out here with Matthews and Boldy, as Gensel's not out here on this line for the draw, as Trocheck now heads off the ice and Gensel comes on. Meanwhile, in neutral ice, the Canadians try and get back in, but they have no such luck, as now they have to peel back. 8:20 to go in the first period, as Cale Makar plays it to Devon Toews on the near side. Teammates in Colorado, up the wall for Celebrini, couldn't grab it. Here's Matthews the other way through center. On the counterattack, onside for Boldy, but it's poked away Celebrini, and now here comes McKinnon with speed on the near wing, puts on the brakes, left it near circle. Celebrini back across, goes off a Gensel's skate to the far corner. Picked up by Boldy, who sends it down the ice. It won't go far enough for icing, so Shea Theodore must collect as his team makes changes here. Under 8 minutes to go, first period, as Travis Sanheim from the Flyers up the far wall gets it back as it goes off a Brady Tkachuk skate. Goes this way to Theodore, back rink wide far wall. It's Bennett over the American line, watched by Eichel, gets past him. Now poke checked by Quinn Hughes and taken away as Quinn's up the far wall with space. Marchand on the back check, deflects that pass as it came this way for Matthew Tkachuk. He bobbled it. Tom Wilson forces McAvoy back, who has the puck, and it goes across to Quinn Hughes, who plays it back to center. Off the skate of Eichel, far wall, Brady Tkachuk's it, dropped it McAvoy. This way, Matthew, tap pass in front, and it was out of the reach of Eichel, as Parayko had it played to the far wall. Marchand will give it back to him through center. Now it's played into the American zone. Onside as Bennett was dragging a skate, but we're good, says the linesman. Puck in the far corner where Brady Tkachuk plays it off the far glass. It doesn't get out. Parayko gave it right back on the wall. Brady tries to get out, turned it right over to Suzuki, a shot, and he missed the net. Awful turnover there for Brady Tkachuk, who now redeems himself with a great stick lift on Martyr. Gets the puck out, and it's fish hooked into the near corner of the Canadian zone. Under 7 minutes now, first period. The Americans resetting here as a pass missed in neutral ice for Clayton Keller, who gets an early shift here in period 1 after not seeing much ice time in the semifinals. In the near side of the American zone, the puck will go for Werenski. Around the goal it goes. Stone played it right back, but Werenski's there to take it back, and on the far wall, give it to Brock Nelson. Nelson drops it back off at the logo for Sanderson. On the near side, it's out of the reach of Keller. Goes into the far corner behind to the trapezoid now. Makar behind the goal, passes it up the far wing, and now it's taken by Suzuki up ahead for Devon Toews. Canada changing as Toews dumps it in. He'll go after it as Hellebuyck leaves it in the near corner for Werenski. He'll go back around the goal to the far with 6:10 to go in the first period as Sanderson goes up for Miller. Left it far wall for Trocheck, who snaps it in over the Canadian line. Around the goal it goes Nelson. Dropped it at the half boards for Miller. Miller pivots to his forehand, tried to get it to the point, lost it, played it down low to Trocheck. Without his stick, now is Horvat. Throw it in front. Miller off his skate. Save Binnington with the left pad. Devon Toews on the rebound, flips it to safety as it rolls all the way into the American zone near side. It won't go for icing. Slavin played it out of the near corner, almost dangerously to Jarvis, and now he gets it back, and he's rushing the other way. Jarvis here, trying to get back on Slavin. Slavin over the line, played it near wall. Trocheck in the slot for Miller, and it's taken away. Good play there by the Canadians' fourth line as Jarvis tried to pass for Horvat. That was out of his reach, and now the Americans take back over as the Matthews line dumps it in from the red line. 5.5 to go, first period. Near wall, Theodore can't clear, or Harley, I should say, as Boldy played it around the goal. On the far side, now Gensel can't keep it in. Celebrini got it long, and now here's McDavid roaring on in. Area play. McKinnon back across. Celebrini couldn't get a stick on it. In the near corner, here is Quinn Hughes now as he moves it up. Backhanded one to center. It's going to be sticked right back to McDavid between the benches. A backhander intended for Celebrini gets right back out of the zone, and now they have to touch back up. McKinnon will play it back. It's slapped by Doughty this way for Sanheim, and he wires one in from the near side around the goal. It goes far circle. Here's McKinnon. Played it back. Sanheim in down Main Street, and a glove save by Hellebuyck as that shot came roaring on in down Broadway, and he was able to snare it with no traffic in front. and send us to one last timeout here in the first period. Team USA 1-0 on the goal by Matthew Boldy, assisted by Austin Matthews and Quinn Hughes. Jaric Rubel back with you here in this gold medal game from Milan as Team USA leads it 1-0 here over Team Canada. Boldy the goal from Matthews and Quinn Hughes. As this is the finale here of my Olympic coverage from Milan. As when we get back to the NHL on Thursday, you will hear from me from Ottawa, as it'll be the Senators hosting the Detroit Red Wings in a throwdown Thursday matchup. Excited to get back to NHL action this Thursday night. So the Tkachuk line out on the ice to resume play here, as we saw a replay of Brady's miserable turnover to Nick Suzuki in the slot a few moments ago, and then Suzuki missing the net and Marner crashing in for the rebound, and Brady with good redemption able to create a brilliant stick lift and start a transition the other way. So this faceoff will come here to the right of goaltender Connor Hellebuck, who's been strong to start this game for Team USA, as it'll be Bennett against Eichel for this draw. So to the right of Hellebuck, Bennett wins it on the near wall. Here's Marchand, put it in the slot. Eichel intercepts. On the far wing, now it's Quinn Hughes. Hughes now over the Canadian line, played it toward the goal, went off a skate at Tays, came to far wall for Brady Tkachuk around the goal near side. It's Eichel. Eichel in front, couldn't connect with Matthew Tkachuk, who was breaking to the goal. Tays tried to pitchfork one out from the far wall, but couldn't. Matthew Tkachuk takes it away. Tough angle shot, shoulder down Binnington, and he'll glove it and get a whistle with 4:26 to go in the first period. Just a fourth shot on goal here for Team USA, as they were getting outshot heavily here in this first period. They scored on their first shot, though, which was Matthew Boldy's opportunity, and since then, just 3 shots on goal. So face-off again coming up here in the O-zone for Team USA as the Matthews line gets over the boards. Quinn Hughes stays out there with Charlie McAvoy. As you can imagine, those two will probably play close to 30 minutes or more in this game. Off the tie-up, Matthews wins it back. Hughes controls this way for McAvoy. Long flip shot off the end boards it goes. Where is it? As it's in the trapezoid for Matthews. He's watched by 2 Canadian sweaters. Popped in front, shot by Gensel. Came out the near side. Up the wall it goes McAvoy. Slid far point for Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes plays it back behind the goal. Parayko got it for Canada. Up the far wall for McDavid, who has Quinn Hughes turned around but kept it in nicely. What a play by Hughes. Matthews down low for Boldy. Got it back in a stick lift by Parayko. As if that would have connected, it all would have been because of Quinn Hughes at the blue line, but good job by Colton Parayko on top of the paint to lift Matthews' stick, as that was quite the play by Team USA, but good job in tight by Parayko to prevent a scoring opportunity. So face-off coming up here to Binnington's left. As I mentioned, 5-1 in winner-take-all games. Jordan Binnington, 29 Stanley Cup champion with the Blues as a rookie, as he came up halfway through the season and guided them to a championship. He sees his Canadian team win a face-off to his left, and Theodore flips it out to center, where Faber will control for Team USA. Put it up the near boards. Thompson couldn't tip it, and it's going to end up being an icing, says the linesman. So 3:50 to go here in this first period. More on Jordan Binnington, as in this regular season in the NHL, he's got the 3rd worst save percentage in hockey at .864. His goals against is at 3.65 with an .817-6 record. And after winning about 13 straight home games last year and just ruling life after the Four Nations, he's had a miserable start and middle part to his regular season here in the NHL. The Americans win a draw in their D zone and clear, and that allows the Canadians to reset here as they make a change following, or the Americans make a change following the icing. Meanwhile, the top line for Canada on the ice is on the near wall. Celebrini left for McDavid, who put it up the near wall. Sanheim will ring it around the goal. McKinnon will play it back this way for McDavid. So it's Macklin, McDavid, and McKinnon on the ice right now as Macklin Celebrini on the near wall lost it as Faber did a good job to just twist him out of the play. Now McDavid will trade spots with him and come in and go to work. Puck pop free and behind. Celebrini in front for McDavid. His stick got lifted by Faber. Good job there as he just did what Parayko did a moment ago. Now a puck free on the near side for Brock Nelson. The Colorado Avalanche centerman comes into the zone from the center, from the slot. Tried a shot, got blocked now to the far wall. And now a penalty, I think, is coming up here on Canada as the whistle goes as they touch up. And Gord Dwyer's out to center with the call. So it's going to be Shea Theodore taking a seat for Team Canada, and the first power play of this gold medal game belongs to Team USA, as they'll get an opportunity here in the late stages of period one. They capitalized yesterday, or 2 days ago, in the power play late in period one as Tage Thompson was able to rocket one upstairs short side on the Slovak netminder Sam Halavai. And we'll see how they could capitalize here in the power play late in the first period of the gold medal game. Face off here to the right of Binnington. Suzuki against Matthews. So the Maple Leafs captain versus the Montreal Canadiens captain is off the draw. Matthews wins it clean. Quinn Hughes to the back. Between the circles. Backhanded far wall. Eichel played it down low to Tage Thompson. Out of the far corner. Just couldn't really play it as his frame awkwardly there misplayed it. Eichel though in front. Matthews for Thompson far side. And I don't think he should have passed it as now the Canadians clear. I think Matthews should have tried to just direct that puck on net. But now the Americans reset with 22 gone by on the power play. Quinn Hughes left it at his own blue line for Matthews. Glides through all three at center. On the far wall in the Canadian zone. Matthew Tkachuk down low for Matthews, who rug it around. Thompson out of position again. Can't keep that puck it on the near side as he's had a rough time getting set up on this power play. Hughes on the reset. Over the line, now the blue near side. Looks for some help. Just pulls up at the near point. Plays it to the near corner for Tkachuk. Left it there along the boards for Matthews. Matthews to the near corner for Tkachuk. Back to Matthews at the circle. In the bumpers, Thompson. Matthews goes up high to Quinn Hughes. 2 minutes to go in the first period. 1:05 on the power play. Puck in the far corner for the USA's Jack Eichel. Again, USA attacking down to our right as Thompson from the far corner gets it back on a poke check from Harley. Slides it up the far wall to Eichel, who rides the boards down low. Played it down low for Thompson. A stuff attempt goes off the side of the net. Where is it? It's free in the slot. Suzuki tried to clear Will as Quinn Hughes was turned around. As now the Americans reset in the final 100 seconds of the first period, final 40 of this power play. Gensel tipped in a puck that Quinn Hughes gave him. The Canadians slap it right back as far as the logo, and Brady Tkachuk leaves it now for Zach Werenski in the final half minute of this power play. Up it goes to the goal scorer, Matthew Boldy, for Gensel on the near side. Played it back up now for Werenski, who kept it in as a nice poke check by Marner, almost got it out. Near wall Gensel fed it across for Jack Hughes on the far boards. To the net, it's tipped and a save Binnington. Rebound in behind. Jack Hughes is on that. 12 seconds to go on the power play. Puck up at the far point, Werenski. In the slot, Hughes waiting. Hughes shooting, and it got blocked to the far corner. Here's Brady Tkachuk. 2 seconds and 1 as the power play expires. Pass to the near wall, Boldy. Matthew Boldy played it back up to the point, but Theodore's there at a 3. Oh, they go for a change. They could have had an odd man rush, and they elect to go for a change, and not just change, but ice the puck as well here. As Shea Theodore definitely gassed. I think he made a real boneheaded play there for Team Canada, as he had an opportunity to just pass that puck. He didn't even need to keep it, and it could have been a 3-on-2 the other way for Canada. But unfortunately, he dumped it in. He wasn't even at the red line, and now he has to stay on the ice following an icing. So face-off here coming up in the Canadian D zone, as now the Americans look like they'll not go with the top line on the ice, at least at the moment, as it's going to be Trocheck, Nelson, and JT Miller out for this draw against the line of Marner, who's out there at the moment with Hagel and Stone. So face off to the left here of Binnington. Trocheck wins it back. Miller towards the net, and it's going to be saved, but it looks like they're redoing the face-off as play was blown dead immediately. And now the Finnish lineman here, Ami Hatamaki, is having a conversation with Vincent Trocheck, saying he wasn't a fan of how he got his stick down to win that draw. So we're doing this thing all over again. 48.3 on the clock in this first period. Trocheck able to win it again. Miller to the gut, and a save made by Binnington in the breadbasket as JT Miller put it right on net. And it's swallowed up, and we'll do this again to Binnington's left, this time 45.1 to go after just 3.2 seconds went off the clock on that play. So Canada and the United States in the gold medal game for the first time since 2010. We all know it was Sidney Crosby's 3-2 overtime winner. And then the following Olympic in the 2014 semifinal, Canada won 2-1 as faceoff here's won by Trocheck to the left of Binnington. Played to the near corner down low. It's going to be grabbed by Miller, but he's pressed to the boards by Harley in the final 36 of the period. Now JT Miller trying to get free, gives Harley a jolt. Puck still free, came up the boards, and it's going to be out to center as now McDavid's hustling with Slavin breaking back. Slavin does play it away, and McAvoy will control with 22 to go. He'll go across in his own zone for Slavin. In front of the American bench, he got the red line and twisted it just over the Canadian blue. Doughty will take it in the final 13 of the period. Turned it over to Nelson. Nelson, take it away on the far wall. Look at the center. Got it to Matthew Tkachuk. Dropped off in a shot, and it's blocked in front there on a big blast that came from Slavin. 2 seconds left in the period as Canada will clear. And that will do it for the first 20 minutes here in the gold medal game. So it's been frantic action here to start. Matthew Boldy with the goal for Team USA, assisted by Matthews and Quinn Hughes, as it was Matthew Boldy getting his second goal of the tournament. Matthews up to his 4th assist. Quinn Hughes is team leading 7th assist and 8th point of the tournament as they lead it through 20 minutes of play in this game. Shots on goal. In that first period, it was a slow start for the Americans, but they picked it back up. Not too much, though, as they only got 4 on Binnington. Feels like it could have been a little more than that. And Canada had 8 throughout the first 12 minutes, and in the later stages, didn't get anything on Hellebuck after that shot by Sanheim that came down Broadway. So that's how the first period was played here in Milan in this gold medal game. Don't you guys go anywhere, as the second period is imminent, and it's going to be a bumpy ride all the way through. You just know this is going to be a 1-goal hockey game till the bitter end. Let's see how it progresses. The middle period is next. You're listening to the 2026 Winter Olympic Games with Jaric Rubel, live right here on YouTube. USA leads Canada 1-0 after the first. Welcome back here live on YouTube to the start of the second period between the United States and Canada in the 2026 men's ice hockey gold medal game. My name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you've joined me here in North America bright and early on this Sundays. We're now just past 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. It's Team USA on a goal by Matt Boldy, set up by Matthews and Quinn Hughes on the rush, leads Canada by a score of 1-0. So Eichel for this draw against McKinnon to begin period 2. The Americans going right to left now in this middle period. Team Canada will be going left to right as it's now Stone out here with Marner and McKinnon as McKinnon loses this draw to Eichel in the second period has begun. Puck will be snapped in by McAvoy by Team USA. Around the goal it goes, but back up the far wing and out it will go. And Quinn Hughes has to get back on it as no icing, as he will make Stone fall in behind. That allows one man to get up on the rush quick. It's Eichel, near side over the Canadian line. Takes a shot and a save. Binnington through the legs of Parayko. And on the near wall, Marner cleaned it up but not out. Stone will try to get it out. He will. And at center, Eichel will reset with Matthew Tkachuk. 30 seconds elapsed here in this second period. Quinn Hughes up the middle of the ice. Puck's missed by everybody, and it will result in an icing here with 37 seconds played. So the United States in that first period, I said 4 shots at the end of the first. No, the app was just not up to date, and there's no shot counter here on the score bug, at least when it goes away right away, because they pull it real quick. So I saw 4 shots on the app, and yeah, no, they got double that. They had 8 after the first period, so shots were 8-8 after the first frame. So shout out the NHL app for not being up to date, but it's all good. Face off to the right of Hellebuck, going to be pulled back by the Canadians, but now it looks like a face-off's coming up here at center as there was a hand pass by the Canadians off the draw. As now the face-off will happen here in front of Team Canada's bench. USA will make changes as now the fourth line will hop on with Brock Nelson, JT Miller, and Vincent Trocheck. And the D pairing of Sanderson and Werenski will also come over the boards. Top line for Canada as it's nuclear. Macklin, McDavid, and McKinnon. Off the draw in front of the Canadian bench, Trocheck wins it back. Sanderson wires it up the near wall. Did that get deflected? It did not. So another icing here on Team USA. Face-off coming back in the O-zone yet again for Team Canada. Head coach John Cooper watching on here as he had the team come together for a meeting at the end of the victory versus Finland in the semifinals. Before they left the ice, they all huddled around the bench and gave him a good speech, and everybody thought Sid was going to be able to play. But he is not. Morrissey as well still out for Canada as those two guys unavailable in this gold medal game. They win a draw though to the left of Hellebuck but lose possession as in the slot. It's going to be JT Miller moving it up ahead for Sanderson to snap on in. Binnington wanted to play it, could not, as you got to be careful with these end boards. As we saw yesterday in the Slovakia game, they capitalized off a dump in, as if you're both Binnington and Hellebuck, you got to be wary of that. And you got to have reinforcements. Through centers, McKinnon off a bounce. It came to the far circle. McDavid, a shot and a save. Hellebuck, it leaked behind him into the trapezoid in the near corner. JT Miller bunted it ahead on the near side for Trocheck. He backhanded it across, but right on the blade of Theodore. Dropped it off for Makar, who goes back. This way again, Cale Makar up the near wall. It's Connor McDavid, the captain for Canada. Backhanded it along the wall behind the goal it goes. Faber trying to get to it first. Played it away from Wilson on the far wall from Miller. Sent it this way. Slavin has room to skate into the Canadian zone near side at the circle. Played it on net and it went through the paint to the far corner. Backhanded back down the boards by Boldy. Matthews couldn't get there as McDavid got it away from him. In the near corner, a pinching Sanderson got it to Matthews out of the far corner. Played it up Werenski. Played it this way near circle. Sanderson shooting. Missed to the far post. Wired it back up the far wall on the carom. And it goes all the way back down the ice. Werenski gets back after it. Hellebuck will leave it in the trapezoid. Zach Werenski, far wall, connects with Boldy on a pass. In goes Larkin. Larkin tried to center it, but a good job there by Parayko to take the body. Puck back in behind the Canadian net. Parayko moved it up, but not out on the far wall. It's shoved back down on the backhand by Quinn Hughes. Now Gensel out of the far corner, working it up to the point. Had his pass go off the stick of Parayko. It comes back out to center. And now Hughes and McAvoy must chase back. So Quinn Hughes with 2.5 gone in the first period. Took a hit behind the net to get the puck to McAvoy on the near side. Here's Jack Hughes now squeezing by on the wall. Couldn't get past Parayko fully, but the puck goes to the trapezoid. Jack Hughes trying to get it away from Hagel. He does. Hughes couldn't get it back to himself on his backhand behind the goal as Harley plays it now near wall Parayko. Up it goes to Jarvis over the red line. Couldn't get it over the blue. Now it does. Hagel at the near circle. Hughes on the back check, and Jack Hughes a good poke check, but it stays with Hagel and a turnaround try. Couldn't hit Jarvis. Now along the boards, here's McCarr. McCarr, a pass that went off a skate to the far wall. Jarvis swooped it to the far point. Tays this way for McCarr. Tried to dance in the slot. Lost it. Jack Hughes couldn't go on the counterattack as the puck was bouncing, and Canada's able to settle back in neutral. Here's McCarr. Far wall over the line comes Jarvis. Jarvis to the far circle. It's spun down low by Suzuki. In front, Jarvis fanned on the shot. Without his stick is Hellebuck. He got it back. Meanwhile, out the center on the near wing is Brady Tkachuk. Dumped it in for his brother Matthew to go after. Took the body in the near corner, but didn't come up with the puck as him and Tays are empty-handed. McCarr, meanwhile, has it. Sent it this way through neutral on the near walls. Jarvis over the American line. To the corner he goes. Played it in front, but it's cut off by Matthews. Nice move to avoid Hagel. Now up the wall it comes to Boldy on the feed from Brady Tkachuk. Boldy will chip it in from the near side. Doughty goes after it. Doughty here. Played it up the wall. Here's Tays for Canada. Tays up by the penalty boxes for Marner. Marner here. A backhander between the benches finds Stone. Stone now will wire it in, and the two Golden Knights go to work. The third one, or no, it's not Shea Theodore, that's Connor McDavid. 97, not 27, as he's double shifting at the moment. Far wall now, Sanheim. For Stone, send it up by Doughty, waits, shoots, and a save. Hellebuck, rebound to the near side, cuts in behind. McDavid on the loose puck, skating up the far wall with speed. Send it this way, picked off by Boldy in the slot as it was en route to Sanheim. And now up the center come the Americans. Matthews at the end of a shift, backhands one as far as the Canadian blue line. Sanheim takes over on the near wall for Marner. Up it goes over the American line. Stone in front, good poke check by Eichel to clear it to the near corner. Jack Eichel here, backhanded up the wall. Marner took it away. Played to the far wall. Wilson a shot, goes off the end boards. Around those far wall, it comes up again. Can't be cleared though. Marner a takeaway on Brady Tkachuk. To the far point, walking against Harley at the circle. A shot, he hit the post. He hit the far post past Hellebuck, and it ricocheted in behind. Rebound to the near side. Here's Sanderson taking it away, but the Americans can't clear. Marchand a keep near circle. He shoots left pad, saved by Hellebuck through some traffic. On the near side, the rebound to Eichel. Cleared the center for Boldy. His backhander, picked back up by Harley at his own blue line. On the near wall for Wilson, drop for Harley near circle. His shot blocked by Slavin, clean to the near boards by Tkachuk. Brady got it up on the wall for Boldy. He gets the red line, he'll chip it in, and the Americans survive that Canadian storm as they're pressing hard right now with 5 minutes gone by in the second period. Here comes McCarr with speed up the far wall. Gets past a couple, over the American line, shakes off Faber. Played it into the near corner, deflected by Hughes back to him in the trapezoid. Now it's left there for Horvat. Bo Horvat waiting for McCarr to get back to the point, but he waited too long. It's knocked free, back behind the net it goes for Reinhart. Reinhart, tough angle shot, shut down short side by Hellebuck. Rebound near wall, it's Miller flipping it back out. It rolls through center, no icing, as it'll be collected by Devon Tays back at his own goal line. Turns it over, Nelson in the slot, a shot and a great save by Binnington with the left pad, 1-on-1. Now on the far wall, back comes Reinhart on the clear. Over the American line he goes, pulls up at the far circle, in the slot, Horvat a shot, and that got blocked by the stick of Brock Nelson. Back to the near quarter, around the goal it goes. Far quarter McKinnon, back on the ice. Plays it up high Theodore. He wires, blocked in front, back to him. Across it goes Sanheim. At the far circle, trades with McKinnon. McKinnon this way, Theodore. Far circle, Sanheim, a shot off the side of the net to the far post. Off it goes to the far wall, McKinnon. Up at the point. He's gonna wait to the near side with it. McKinnon to the near circle. Back for Theodore. He went off a stray stick and back out to center as there is a stray stick near the blue line straight away. And the Americans get a couple of fresh bodies on. Remember, period of the long change here is some guys still out there for USA. Top line fully on the ice for Canada on the re-entry. Far wall McKinnon played it behind the goal, picked off McAvoy. Got it for Larkin. He squeezed off the play by Celebrini, but Matthews able to get it out to center. But the Americans defense pairing, Sanderson and Werenski still out there. McDavid near wall, Celebrini across, poke checked by Larkin nicely away from McKinnon. Sanderson or Jack Hughes here trying to get out, kicked it back to himself as he's ragged a little bit here. Now played it straight ahead for Matthews, far wall, Larkin wires it in. Binnington can't play it, it bounces near wall, Hughes in the slot, couldn't connect with Larkin as it bounced off his skate, gets it out of the far corner. Here's Thompson, Canadians are tired, Thompson, a shot save, Binnington rebound, he gets a glove on it, and he'll take a whistle with 12:46 to go in the second period. The Americans weathering a Canadian storm. They had an opportunity at the other end on the counterattack, but Binnington able to shut down Tage Thompson as this gold medal game remains 1-0 as we approach the halfway point in favor of Team USA. Back here in Milan, still 1-0 USA here as we approach the halfway point of period number 2 and this hockey game altogether. Binnington, a couple of good saves at this other end on Nelson and Thompson, and that Hellebuck surviving a Canadian storm for the Americans and a bunch of good block shots as well, as this is turning in to a goaltending defensive duel in a battle for the gold medal. So Brock Nelson watching on here from the American bench as he had family that was on both the 1960 and 1980 Olympic gold medal teams, as Dave Christian, his uncle, was part of the Miracle on Ice team, and then his grandfather Billy Christian and great uncle Roger Christian captured gold in 1960 for Team USA, the only 2 Olympic gold medals the hockey team has ever won. Face off to the left of Binnington, and off a tie-up, Team Canada's able to win it, and Wilson will play it out for Marchand, but it's played away from him, and back to center comes Jack Hughes. He had it stripped from him, and now Wilson up on a counterattack and a stretch pass for Marchand, tries to get in, and a great poke check by McAvoy spilled him to the ice, and now Larkin through center. Larkin over the Canadian line. Wilson takes him down. Played though to Thompson as he has the puck. Played up to the point. Now Quinn Hughes has to collect now as it was bouncing around to the far circle. His shot bounced to the right pad, saved by Binnington. He fell awkwardly near wall. It's Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes here looking to center in the near corner. Played it behind Larkin, who gives it right back. Hughes in front, Thompson back here, oh, Binnington, what a sensational blocker save by Jordan Binnington, rebound in behind, holy smokes, Thompson thought he had one, and now the Canadians will clear as Wilson gets it down the far wall. Will it be an icing? McAvoy wants it, and it won't be, as we'll play on here at 12 minutes left in the second period. Oh, what a save by Binnington on Tage Thompson as he controls the puck now and dangerously played it up back to neutral ice on the near wing, and Slavin will have to peel back and recoil again for the Americans. Here's Eichel. Played it far wall. Brady Tkachuk backhanded in from in front of the American bench. Again, the Americans attacking right to left. Puck down to our left behind the Canadian cage. Picked up by Devon Tays. Pass intended for McCarr. Went through his legs and grabbed by Matthew. Matthew Tkachuk to the far corner for Brady. Played it behind for Eichel. Eichel out of the near. Up high goes Slavin. Across to the far for Faber. Up high he plays down low to Brady Tkachuk again in the trapezoid. Watched by Devon Tays. Taken down to both knees, but the puck slid to the near corner and Boldy on his backhand. Wrapped it back around the goal, and on the far wall is Faber pinching as the Americans were changing on the fly. It's played back to the trapezoid where Eichel tried to get it to Boldy. He slashed the stick out of the hands of somebody as there's a broken stick behind, no penalty. At the near wall, Slavin shot blocked. Now a stretch pass up ahead and a breakaway for McDavid. From the red line in, Davo to tie the game, and a save made by Hellebuck as he turtled up in the blue paint and got it with the right pad. Now it's center. Gensel played it into the zone. No, he didn't as he's poke checked by Stone. He's taken down near side. Hagel takes a penalty in the O zone, and Brandon Hagel with a stupid hold puts the Canadians short-handed. So 10:33 to go in the second period. Hagel's getting a fist bump here. Maybe this penalty's going on the Americans, and it is. As I beg your guys' pardon here, this is going to be on Jake Gensel, as the whistle looked like it went when the Canadians still had the puck. But what is happening here in this second period, as Binnington with tremendous saves, Hellebuck with tremendous saves, the latest here on McDavid with the right pad on the breakaway, just trying to push it in. And now Jake Gensel's going to be the one to take a seat, and this American PK that is 100% in the tournament is going to be heavily tested here, as it looks like a stick caught Hagel up high when they were tied up with one another. And Gensel is tagged as he took him down and all. So it looked like the whistle went a little early there, but Canada nonetheless will still get the power play. Face off to the left of Hellebuck, and now it's punched into the corner by McKinnon on the face-off win. Going to be dug up by Sanderson, can't clear those. Now he's tied up with McKinnon on the near side. Miller will get it. He'll send it down the ice, and the Canadians will have to chase back. Approaching the halfway point here in this second period and hockey game. 10:15 to go in the middle frame. 100 seconds to go on this power plays. McCarr breaking in, tries to split the D himself. McAvoy's got the stick in the midsection. He's going to get tagged for a hook. And the Americans are going down 5-on-3 here, as this is going to be a big moment in this hockey game that's going to determine a gold medal. And it was the right call. McAvoy had that stick in the midsection from all the way on the near wall around the goal to the far corner. And now for the third time in 5 periods, Charlie McAvoy is going to take a seat in the sin bin, as he's gotten himself in too much penalty trouble in this tournament. So McCarr, just a good job to take a page out of Boldy's playbook and split the D, and he drew the penalty here, as Charlie McAvoy didn't really, it was inadvertent. It did get stuck though, and it is the right call. Nothing you could do about it, as it's now going to be 33 seconds of minute 33 seconds of 5-on-3 time for Canada as they look to tie this game. And what an opportunity they got. Face off to Hellebuck's left. It's one. Celebrini, a backhander right on. Hellebuck stopped that. Faber launches it down the ice, and Binnington will grab it. Again, Joel Quenneville, who was part of this Canadian coaching staff the last 2 times Olympic player or NHLers were in the Olympics, said 5-on-3s determine the game. Normally, who comes out on the right side of it wins. This will determine a lot here. McKinnon far wall in the American zone. Gets set up by McCarr. One-timer and a save. Hellebuck as it ricochets off the glass and out the near side. And now McCarr will have to reset back with a minute to go on the 5-on-3. Pass for McDavid. Gets intercepted beautifully there by JT Miller and sent down the ice by Faber. The Canadians must reset again. McCarr leaves it at his own blue line for McDavid. Now far wall, McKinnon will glide in. Dropped it at the line for Celebrini. Now to the far point, here's McCarr. McCarr to the near circle along the boards is McDavid. Down low, here gets it back from Celebrini. McDavid to Celebrini, in tight to the slot. McDavid, near side, Celebrini, one-timer, shut down Hellebuck. He saw it all the way. The Americans get it, sending it down the ice is Slavin. And there's only a half minute left on the 5-on-3. Trying to change with the Americans. McDavid flying back in, down Main Street at the far circle. Dropped it to the boards, McKinnon on the far wing. 20 seconds left. This way, Theodore. Theodore between the circles to the near side. Here's Celebrini at the circle. Back to Theodore. Theodore down low, McDavid now to the far circle. Theodore in the slot. Celebrini save. Hellebuck rebound poked behind, and the whistle went prematurely as Hellebuck did not cover that puck. Referee Gord Dwyer was behind the net and blew the play dead immediately. And the whistle goes with 8 seconds left on the 5-on-3, and this faceoff coming up to the right now, I believe, of Connor Hellebuck. So Hellebuck, when I said on the breakaway, he's been turtled up in the blue paint, like hugging the posts. He's been playing deep in his crease, and he's been seeing things well. Normally, that's not what you want to do as a goalie. You want to be on top of the paint. So I'm sure Eddie Olczyk calling this game for NBC might be saying something along those lines. But Connor Hellebuck, deep in his net, and he's still stopping everything Canada's thrown at him thus far. 10 seconds left of the 5-on-3. The top unit's off the ice, but McCarr remains on the ice. To the left of Hellebuck, Larkin and Horvat. One to McCarr. He waits. Gives it to Martyr. Back to McCarr. Waiting. In front. He looked for the Marchand tip and couldn't connect. Penalty time up on the 5-on-3. Out of the box now comes Gensel now on the near side. Here's Marner, played it down low. Marchand out is Hellebuck, and he still stopped it as Slavin was down too. The Americans send it up the wall. They'll clear, and down the ice it goes. 15 seconds left to weather. Here's Marner on the reset. Final 10 of this Canadian power play that's now 5-on-4. Snapped into the far corner. Hellebuck wants an icing. He got it as the icing whistle goes with 5 seconds left on the power play. And the Americans have killed off this long 5-on-3 for the Canadians. They weathered the end of the 5-on-4, and they're back to full and equal strength. Basically here with only 5 seconds left to kill and an O-zone draw upcoming. So it'll be perfect to get Quinn Hughes on the ice for this face-off. His D partner, Charlie McAvoy, will be coming out of the box in a second, and he'll already be back in neutral ice. So face-off here coming to the left of goaltender Jordan Binnington. It'll be Horvat against Eichel for this draw, as Quinn Hughes is on the ice, as it looks like we're waiting here, and Eichel slowly glides into the face-off dot. Wasn't sure if he was going to get pulled or not. And off the draw, it's dropped right on the ice. Nobody really touched it, and Parayko will control. Out of the box comes McAvoy. The Americans have killed it off. They remain a perfect 100% as Marner comes up the near wing. Fed it in the slot. Here's Bennett, a shot. Save Hellebuck as he fought it off out of play. And that will send us to a break here. Halfway through this hockey game. What a PK by Team USA as they remain in front 1-0 as they go for gold against Team Canada. Back here in this gold medal game between the US and Canada, 1-0. The United States still leads it on the goal 6 minutes into this game by Boldy, his second of the tournament from Matthews and Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes on a 6-game point streak now. He's registered a point every game these Olympics. And just moments ago, Team USA coming up with a massive, and I mean massive penalty kill, down 2 skaters as they kill off a minute 33 of 5-on-3 time, and then the full 2 minutes of the McAvoy penalty. Face off to the right of Hellebuck with under 8 minutes to go in the second, won by Team USA, and Hughes will park the bus behind the net and look to get started. It'll be left for McAvoy at his own blue line. Up the near wall it goes for Matthews. Matthews played it behind the goal, going to be poked to the near corner by Gensel. Hagel's on it first for Canada as he goes up the near side and down the ice into the American zone it goes. McAvoy trying to get on it first. It's going to be icing as Wilson had to avoid a collision here as he blew a tire, and good heads-up play by McAvoy, who isn't happy as he knows Wilson might have done that one accidentally on purpose, had to leave his skates and jump over him to avoid just slashing him with the skate blade, as that could have just been awful. So Wilson he's out there, man. He's going to do any and everything on the ice. So will Marchand. But I think Marchand's going to be a little more decisive, and when he takes his opportunities, I think Wilson just sees his green light go off and acts accordingly. As a face-off here comes up to the right of Binnington, and off the tie-up, it's cleared out to center by Makar. So it'll be wired back in by McAvoy. The Americans have to touch up on a delayed offsides. And Parayko with a weak clear comes in the slot. Bouncing puck, Kachuk. Matthew played it to the near corner. And his teammate in Florida, Bennett, played it up the boards and out. It'll be grabbed now by Hagel, chipping it into the near side against McAvoy. They go hard into the corner boards, but the puck's picked up by Matthew Kachuk. Near wall, Gensel will go up the wall for Matthews, who will chip it in. Tries to get past Shea Theodore, but on the puck first to Sanheim. Weak move up the near wing. Still got it out, though, as it goes towards the penalty boxes. Slavin controls for America and gets a return pass from Faber as they go D to D. Slavin now on a pass, banked up in front for Eichel, fresh on the ice, cuts wide on the far side against Sanheim, tried to play it in front, deflected away, back it comes though in the slot, it ricochets around, it comes to the near boards, kept in Slavin at the near wall, played around the goal, far corner for Canada's Travis Sanheim, got it up, but Matthew Kachuk kept it far point, back around the goal it's sent, Bennington wanted to play it, but it came to the near corner for Theodore, left it in the far, and it got turned over, and now poke checked out the center by McDavid alertly as Eichel could have kept it in, as now he has to be careful of too many men here as he wanted to go change as the puck found him, and now he sends it back in. America gets the fourth line on the ice. Sanheim flips a biscuit back out through center for Canada, rolls into Team USA territory where Jake Sanderson of the Ottawa Senators takes over, scored the second goal in the Four Nations final in that game against Canada last February, as now he's iced the puck here with 6:05 to go in the second period, as a faceoff's going to come back in the D zone for Team Canada, or for Team USA, and an O-zone draw for Team Canada, as they were shut out around this point in the semifinals against Finland, and then Sam Reinhart with the power play tip-in got the comeback started. It was a 2-0 Finland lead, as Canada's been down in each of the medal round games in the quarterfinals and the semis, and have come back to win both. Face off to the left of Hellebuck. Won by the Americans. Werenski moved it up, but not out. Kept at the right point. Makar slid across, and a shot saved there by Hellebuck. Got a long wire by Theodore Bevantes at the far wall. Here's Suzuki pivoting on his backhand. Goes down low. Stone with it. Tried to spit it in front. Came back to Suzuki out of the corner. Up high to Stone on the wall. Back to Makar. Now Stone far point. Flicked it towards the net. Save Hellebuck. Rebound. It's loose in the slot. Cleaned up. Not out. Stone nudged it this way. Makar. Far circle. In the skates of Marner. Backdoor shot. Taves missed the net. Back it goes Suzuki. Tried to bake it in. Couldn't. In the trapezoid now. Rung it around Marner, far circle. Back down low, Suzuki. Suzuki tried to thread a needle to Marner. It's picked off Werenski. Up the far wall, he'll poke it, and down the ice it'll go. And the Americans trying to get some fresh legs on in the period of the long change. 5:18 to go in the second. Canada up on the far wing again. Suzuki over the line with a shot from the far circle, punched up and out of play by Hellebuck. And that will send us to one final break here. In period number 2, the United States and Canada going for gold. It's still 1-0 Team USA. Jaric Rubel back with you here in the gold medal game from Milan, Italy. 2026 Winter Olympics men's ice hockey tournament. United States 1, Canada nothing. As we have just about 25 minutes left of regulation time as we're approaching the end of period number 2, as the only goal in this game belongs to USA's Matt Boldy from Austin Matthews and Quinn Hughes. Hughes, Matthews, and Boldy all on the ice right now as they're talking things over for a D-zone draw to the right of their goaltender Hellebuck. As Trocheck's out there for this draw, taking it as Gensel sits on the bench and waits, and Horvat's out there against Trocheck. Horvat wins it. Far wall, Celebrini will protect against Matthews. Chipped it back to the point. Far wall, it's Harley. This way for Parayko. He'll wire into the glove of Hellebuck with Horvat and Trocheck both right in front as he was able to snare that into his catching glove. Might have missed the target anyway, but still a good snare. So face-off coming up to his left as we see the great one, Wayne Gretzky, watching on here in the Canadian press box as he's rooting for Team Canada. As we get a face-off coming up here to Hellebuck's left, it's going to be won by McDavid to the back. A long shot. Harley save, rebound in the slot. Celebrini can't get there. Harley on the far wall. Back behind it goes McDavid. Taking a body from Quinn Hughes, but stays with it. Backhanded up the far wall to Harley. At the point, sends it this way to Parayko along the wall. Down low it goes to the trapezoid. Touch pass McDavid to Celebrini. A stuff attempted to save. Rebound, it's loose in front. It's bodied down, cleaned up the wall and out. As a good job there by the USA winger, Jake Gensel out there to knock it back out to center. Celebrini had room on the 5-hole, but it remains 1-0. Back behind the American goal, here's McAvoy playing it up the far wing. Boldy tipped it out to center, and he'll head to change. Sanheim back on it. This way for Doughty in the Canadian end. Up ahead for Bennett, who tipped it on goal. Stick to the far corner by Hellebuck. Faber will wire it behind on his backhand to Quinn Hughes. The Minnesota Wild defense pairing up here. Played it from Quinn to Jack. Into neutral ice is Larkin. Larkin up the wall. Played it into the near corner. Around he'll got poke checked by Doughty as he went to go around the net. In that near corner, 3 bodies, now 4, trying to pry a puck free. Tage Thompson does. Behind the Canadian goal, he goes, trying to fight free from Sanheim. Couldn't, lost the puck. Now Bennett from behind the goal to Doughty on the near wing. Played it up to the logo Wilson. Played it far wall for Bennett now. Played it around the goal on a dump in to the near side of the American zone. Wilson can't keep it in as it escapes him. And back down the ice, McCarr must grab it and reset. Jack Hughes pressuring him on the forecheck, makes him drop it back to Devon Tays. Now Tays a stretch pass far wing into the zone at Stone. Dropped it straight away, McCarr. Near circle, McDavid. Back in the slide, McCarr. Baseball swing, blocked in front by Trocheck. Punched ahead. Came up to Tays. Far wall, now here's McCarr. McCarr this way. McDavid looking. Here it comes to Tays. Back to McDavid at the near circle. 3:20 in the second period. Far wall, now here's McCarr. McDavid rotating to the far wall as he's got the puck. McDavid down to the circle. Behind the goal, he cuts. Centered. McCarr, a shot. Save Hellebuck again as he covers the near post and holds with 3:08 to go. And now the Kachucks are getting into it as they're right on top of Mitch Marner and Cale Makar as Matthews looking right over him menacingly. And now Stone's tied up with Brady. And now Larkin's coming over the Brady, and he's like, all right, that's enough. Just a little calm pat on the shoulder. We don't want our team to go short-handed here. As now Cale Makar gets up from the bottom of that pile after he had a few bodies on top of him. Now Matthew Tkachuk chewing on his mouth guard. He and Brady chirping the Canadians. As you don't want to fire him up too much. I know it's good for Brady and Matthew to get their licks in, but, I mean, these are true competitors here, and all it takes is a little thing to trigger, the other team, and these guys are going to take over a hockey game and try and stick it to you. So just play the game of hockey, try and stick this one out. I don't think there's going to be too many mind games that work between all these players out here in this game. So face-off coming up to Hellebuck's left, following all that. The top line for the Canadians is out there. McDavid, McKinnon, and Celebrini. Shots are 24-15 in favor of Canada. Off the draw, Nelson played it on the near wing, but the Canadians control. Played down low into the corner. McAvoy shuffleboarded it on up. It's sent out to center by JT Miller. And now Devon Tays will control. Played it up the far wall. Touched by McKinnon for Celebrini, but it comes back out of the zone. And Canada has to play it back. On the reset, Makar. Far wall now McDavid or McKinnon will tip it in. It'll go into the corner. McAvoy will retrieve for Team USA. As from the near corner now he plays it up to center. Eichel a backhander in this way for Nelson. He didn't touch it though, and it's going to result in an icing. As with 2:37 to go in the second period, the whistle goes again. So Cale Makar seemingly out here this entire period. Heads to change as an ozone draw here for Canada is imminent with 2:37 to go in period number 2. Again, my name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you've been with me throughout this entire broadcast. Hope you stick around for the third. And the NHL will resume next week, as I'll be with you for the Red Wings and Senators on Thursday. And we'll see if that's on this YouTube channel or if we get the new channel up for Matt and I to be broadcasted once again. So face off to Hellebuck's right. Eichel against Horvat. Played off a tie-up to Quinn Hughes, bunted it ahead, and now here's Brock Nelson, who got it on the near wall for McAvoy. McAvoy chipped it in, but it's played right back out the center by Theodore. Stretch pass ahead, and now trying to cut in was Horvat. Nicely taken away, though, by Eichel to McAvoy, who goes up the far wall and into the Canadian zone. Gloved by Sanheim, back to a stick as he resets at the far circle. This way, Theodore. Up it goes through neutral, tipped in by Celebrini. Behind the goals, Hellebuck to play it. Left it for Sanderson now, and back up the far wall, he'll play it, but not out. Gensel has to try to turn it back, as he'll give it to Quinn Hughes, who will give it a try. Quinn Hughes now over the logo at center, but it hit Parayko. Now it's steered back in by McDavid again. McDavid played it behind the goal. It's sent right back up by Quinn Hughes. This should be an icing, though, as it's rolling and will make it the distance for a whistle with 1:51 now remaining in this second period. Still 1-0. Team USA. Again, Canada defeating USA 5-2 in the gold medal game in 2002. And then in 2010, Sidney Crosby's infamous golden goal in overtime that propelled Canada 3-2 over Team USA. Face off to Hellebuck's right, won by Canada. Taves controls at the far point to the near circle. Makar with space and a shot. He scores! Cale Makar, a wicked wristers, tied the game for Canada, and we're even at 1 with 104 to go in the second. So Cale Makar's second goal of the tournament. He had plenty of space at the near face-off dot to pick his spot, and he sniped it past the blocker side of Hellebuck. And we're all tied up here in this gold medal game. So just a good face-off win at the far circle by Bo Horvat. And then it just was cycled from Taves at the far point to Makar, who was already en route to the near circle. And he let that shot go past the blocker side of Hellebuck. And Cale Makar, no stranger in big games to beating Hellebuck, as with the Avalanche, he's done that quite a bit with that wicked wrister. And he gets another. And it's even at 1 in the gold medal game. Canada wins the ensuing face-off as Marchand will go and dump it back in. And this was immediately blown dead here as Hellebuck gloved it. So it looks like it's going to be a Canadian ozone draw coming up. So another look here at the replay on the goal by Cale Makar. Bo Horvat off this draw here. He gets tied up, but it's just played to the near wing. And then I think it was Suzuki who did get a stick on it that played it back to Taves. And then he hit Makar, who made no mistake on that shot past Hellebuck's blocker side. We've always known it was going to be a 1-goal game. Here we are tied at 1 with just over 21 minutes remaining in this gold medal game. It might take more, as this is a good one between the U.S. and Canada. Boldly with the goal for the United States. Makar for Canada, as a face-off in front of the Canadian bench will happen here at with 1:33 to go in the second period. So off a face-off win by Canada, Parayko wrists one in that rides the stanchion to the far wall, came back up to Harley at the point. Harley a long flip shot, blocked in front, got to get cleaned out by Sanderson. It goes up the near boards, not out. Parayko a shot, came to Nelson, he will get it out. And now here's the counterattack by USA's Larkin through center. On the near wing, gave it for Nelson, but it was in front of him. Has to play it back behind the goal. It'll be grabbed by Miller with 90 seconds to go, or with 67 seconds to go in this second period, and a pass by Larkin gets misfired out to center. And now with a minute left, USA has to reset. Slavin on the near wing, bobbled it, but played it up the near wall, tipped in by Matthew Tkachuk, no icing, as now he in the near corner is going to go after it with Parayko. Came up to Marner, and now Canada's out the other way, 3-on-3 into the American zone. McKinnon near wing, puts on the brakes, now circles, threw it to the net, and it hit the crossbar. Back behind it goes, Matthew Tkachuk got it. Now up it goes to Eichel, up to center, Faber, trying across the Canadian line, far wing he will. Brock Faber in the slot, Matthew Tkachuk a shot, and he missed to the blocker side. Rebound, Eichel can't bury it. Now it's in the near corner, final half minute of the second period. Wrapped around by Matthew Tkachuk to the far point, Quinn Hughes. He walks the line and protects nicely. Poke checked by Jarvis, but gets it along the goal to Eichel. Eichel back to the far point. Faber a shot, it went off the crossbar. Did it go in? The Americans celebrated. No, it didn't. On the near wall, Matthew Tkachuk played it along. Gets back out as Makar played it to the logo for Jarvis. Jarvis in the final 7. Poked it to himself, and now a whistle's going to go here at 5.2 to go. And I don't know if that was ice or offsides or not, as it didn't look offsides. But this try here by Faber got deflected, and I think it hit the near corner post by the crossbar on the deflection, and almost leaked by Jordan Binnington. Almost a similar style deflection as the tying goal by Winnipeg in Game 7, as it was a shot from the far boards deflected on top to Binnington's left, and almost got past him. So one more draw in neutral ice, 5.2 to go in the second period, and off the tie-up to the far wall, Boldy will get it and snap it on net. Binnington did have to save it, but it will end period number 2. So now a little extra flair happening here at the end of the second period as McAvoy's tied up now at Tom Wilson, as these teams are gathering in front of Team USA's bench, as Doughty and Quinn Hughes are hugging one another like they're best buds, as now they separate. And that'll do it here for the second period of play. Cale Makar from Devon Toews and Nick Suzuki gets the game tied at 1 on a shot from the near face-off circle that beat Hellebuck far side under his blocker to the far post. And now it looks like Wilson's being talked to by the referee, Gord Dwyer, here. And Wilson doesn't look happy, and I think he might be given a penalty here at the end of this period. As we get another look, it was a tip by Gensel on the scoring try, and he was on the goal line. The shot came to Binnington's left on the goal line, and Gensel tipped it and went off the crossbar and out to the near side. So 1-1 your score through 40 minutes. Shots on goal in that period. For USA, they had 7. For Team Canada, they had 15, and they found the tying goal courtesy Cale Makar. Right now, Toews is only the one getting credited for the primary assist. No secondary. We'll see if they add Nick Suzuki during the scoring changes. But for now, we will head into the intermission with this game tied at 1, and the nervous energy building for both of these countries as we approach the third and final period of regulation of this Olympic gold medal game. You're listening to the 2026 Winter Olympics with Jaric Rubel live right here on YouTube. 1-1 your score through 40 minutes. Stick around. It's going to be one heck of a third period. Oops. Back here in Milan for the start of the third period of this gold medal game, United States and Canada. My name is Jaric Rubel. Thank you for joining me early on this Sunday in North America. And at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern, can you feel your heart start beating out of your chest as this gold medal game tied at 1 with goals by America's Matt Boldy from Matthews and Quinn Hughes, and then Cale Makar for Canada with under 2 minutes to go in the second period, set up by Devon Toews at the near faceoff circle. This is going to be a massive third period. It goes without saying. Both of these countries, gold medal hopes hanging in the balance. The United States trying to end a 46-year drought, a drought that has been going on since the Miracle on Ice team back in 1980 to the day they beat the Soviets is this game here today. It was not the gold medal game like this is, but still a historic day in American hockey. And in this third period, they look to write another chapter to their storied runs. So McDavid against Eichel as Canada tries to go for their third straight gold with NHL players in the Olympics. Eichel wins the draw. They snap it in. This third period has begun. The Canadians in their own end get that dump in. Harley on the near wing for Celebrini as Canada attacks right to left. Celebrini dropped it in the slot. McDavid gets tied up with Brady Tkachuk and turned him around. Puck free to McAvoy, but turned over to Wilson. Wilson did not be given a penalty at the end of that second period as he's out there to begin the third. On the near wall, Celebrini played it, trying to get it to McDavid, but it came back to him. Now gets it behind the American goal. McDavid fighting here behind Quinn Hughes, threw it in front, and it went off the side of the net. McDavid again, tough angle, tried, doesn't go as it was off the back of the net again. In the far corner, Canada all over Team USA here to begin this third period, but Matthew Tkachuk sends it on in. It's going to be icing here as he tried to hit Larkin fresh on the ice. That was probably a bad decision, as now some of those Americans have to stay on the ice here with just 48 seconds gone by. In period number 3, Canada jumped all over USA to begin this third period just after tying the game late in the second, as this is going to be one wild 20 minutes. Face off here to the left of Hellebuck, who's been sensational. It's going to be won by Team USA's Larkin and sent down the ice again. Will this go far enough for icing? It will. So we'll have another stoppage here with 19:05 to go in this third period. The U.S. women's team watching along here as they've been in attendance, and now we have Michaela Schifrin as she was a gold medalist in the Salem event. And now here's Dave Christian in the crowd, the member of the 1980 gold medal team, as I mentioned earlier, uncle of Brock Nelson, as he watches the opponents, Team Canada, win an O-zone draw. At the left point, Toews flips one. That bounces into the near corner. Looking for it is Quinn Hughes. He has it, played it in the skates of McKinnon. It came to Stone. Up top, Toews. Across it goes to Makar. Makar, back it goes this way to Toews. Along the wall, shot blocked away by Hellebuck's blocker. To the near corner, Marner got it back to Toews. USA scrambling here, following back-to-back icings. Marner up high between the circles. To the far, waiting. In front, tip Toews. He put it through the goal mouth. He had an open net and put it down the far side. He's going to be seeing ghosts after that if this does not go in Canada's favor. Oh, Devon Toews. Oh, so close to giving Canada the lead. Makar back up ahead. On soft side is Marchand as Bennett collected. Looked like a late whistle, but it goes with 18 to go in the third period. Here's the replay. Marner on top of the paint, and Toews whacks at it. Oh, it was the stick of Hellebuck. Hellebuck got just the bottom of the stick on it as, oh my goodness, the reigning Hart Trophy winner, the reigning Vezina Trophy winner in the NHL, with one heck of a stick save that genuinely might have saved America's chances at a gold medal. So Canada wins a neutral zone draw, and Sanheim wires it in the near corner. Marchand gets it. He'll fling it around to the far wall. Gensel pokes it out to center, though. It goes into the American bench. And a whistle here with 18:06 to go in the third, and a neutral zone faceoff coming up. I want to get another replay here of this Hellebuck save. I don't know if we're going to get one. But my goodness, you thought Holtby's against Vegas was a big one in 2018. My, oh my, Connor Hellebuck with just enough of the bottom part of the stick to get that Devontae's chance out to the far side from the blue paint. Puck back in the American zone behind Hellebuck's net. Moved up the far wall by Nelson, but held in by Sam Bennett. Now Slavin got it back to Nelson. Goes this way to Matthew Tkachuk, who glides up neutral ice on the near side. Gave it to Jack Hughes over the Canadian line. On his backhand, trying to drive against Marchand. Got taken in behind. Puck free on the far quarter. Now as Bennett takes it. Sam Bennett lifts it up ahead. Goes off the stick of Sanderson and rolls into the American zone. No icing. Werenski will scoop it up from behind his own net with 2.5 played in this third period. On the far wall, onside is Boldy as Gensel plays it to the net. Deflected and a save, Binnington. That one just hit his glove. Now on the counter attacks Jarvis out of his own end. On the far wing he goes, over the red and the blue. Far corner now against Sanderson. Puts on the brakes and goes to his backhand. Touch to Horvat. Up top, here's Parayko. This way, Harley. The pass was behind him. Backhander went into the skates of Matthews. Now Boldy will collect and get it as far as the red line before Harley takes back. Up the boards, he sent it for Jarvis, who puts it into the American zone. Hagel goes across. Pass goes off the far wing boards to Parayko. To the corner, Horvat. To the near side in the corner to our left, it's Hagel. Out up high. Harley a one-timer sticked aside by Jarvis as that was redirected by a Canada player to the near corner. And now the puck to Boldy behind in the trapezoid, who puts it up the far wall and out the center. This will go for an icing here, as it does barely make the distance with 16:38 to go in this third period. So just like the Finns a game ago, weathering a Canadian storm are the Americans, as Canada here has forced them into a ton of icings here already in this third period, as they're really hemmed in to their defensive zone. Face off to the left here of Hellebuck. Matthews against McKinnon. Matthews played it to the far wall. It's going to be played up and out of the zone as JT Miller will chip it on into Canadian ice. On back after it is Devontae's. Tays now to the far circle for Makara's teammate in Colorado. They connected on the Canadian goal for Celebrini. This way goes McKinnon over the American line. Looking over the traffic near circle with a shot. Save Hellebuck. Rebound in the slot. Picked on up now by JT Miller. Bobbled out the center. He backhanded it over the Canadian line. And it's picked back up by Tays in the near side. Played it around his goal. Makar on the far wall turned it over to Thompson. Thompson here can't keep it, but Quinn Hughes can't either at the far point as it just eluded him, and the Americans reset at center. On the far wall, on the reentries, Quinn Hughes has space. Looking for some help. Cuts down low to the quarter. Behind the goal, he goes to the near side. Backhanded front, came to the slot. Touch pass by Stone, sends Celebrini ahead. It's poked off his blade. Near wing Trocheck to the corner in the Canadian zone. Quinn Hughes. A shot blocked, and now a breakaway for Celebrini. The 19-year-old to take the lead for Canada on a right pad save by Hellebuck on that wrist shot. Rebound in behind. Trocheck on it. He'll backhand one up the center. Oh, Macklin Celebrini almost gave Canada the lead, but Hellebuck, sensational in this game. At center, Suzuki back on it for Canada. Fumbled on the near side over the American line, did get it to the corner. Larkin will touch it to the far for Slavin to move it on up. Got as far as the red line. Now between the benches, Brady Tkachuk to the near corner. Larkin after it. Dylan Larkin tied up with Shea Theodore, able to knock it at least behind the goal line before he goes to head and change. Now Canada on the far wall. Parayko cutting past Matthews. Has a step on him. He's in with a shot off the outside of the net on the far side. Far quarter, here's Marchand sliding with it. Up high, it's Harley. This way, Parayko one-timer, and he missed by a mile to the far side. Up the wall, it goes Wilson. Straight away, Harley. This way, Parayko one-timer, save Hellebuck as he squeezes it in the breadbasket and takes a whistle with 14:49 to go in this third period. His 34th save of this game. Shots 35-17 in favor of Canada. And Macklin Celebrini, the 19-year-old number 1 overall pick from 2024, with the game potentially on his stick on that breakaway, tried to go on the right pad side of Hellebuck and was denied, as he's thinking about it on the Canadian bench as he says a 4-letter word I won't repeat on air. Face off to the right of Hellebuck. Trocheck against Horvat. Horvat wins it to the back. Harley dished it on the near side for Jarvis. He ladles it around the goal. It rides the dasher to the far corner, but Sanderson will cut that off. He sends it up high. It goes down, bouncing near the Canadian blue line. Harley settles it down on top of the blue paint, circles his own net now. On his backhand, out of the far corner, creates space on Nelson. Now this way for Doughty. Doughty risks it back in what will be his final Olympic game. He's trying to join the Triple Gold Club as it's flipped back into Canadian ice towards him by Team USA as Doughty plays it behind his own net for Harley. Harley will snap it up the near wing. Jarvis got a piece into the American zone. It's around the goal, now sent by McAvoy. Cut off, though, by Horvat. Now a short side shot by Hagel. Didn't make it on net as it went off the side of it. Around the goal on the near side, Taze rung it back around to the far side. Jack Hughes will meet that and glide in transition out the center. Tried to hit Matthew Tkachuk with the pass, but it bounced off his blade to Hagel. But Hagel gets cut off by Quinn Hughes, who takes possession back with 13:45 to go in this third period. Out to center on the near wall. Eichel pokes one past Taze. He gets to it first in the near corner of the Canadian zone. Toe drags past McCarr. Played it in the middle. A whack there to save made by Binnington on Brady Tkachuk's try. Now he fanned on one from the far wall. McCarr trying to take it. He moved it but turned it over to Eichel. It stays onside. Eichel will go on the near wall for it. Jack Eichel threw it towards the net. Went off the skate on the goal line. Came to Celebrini now on the near side as Tom Wilson gets it at center. Trying to glide past Faber. Cannot. As now Larkin played it off the near side glass. Faber back to center. Tangled with Wilson. Wilson plays it back in near side. Here's McKinnon fresh on the ice. Nathan McKinnon pivoting here on Larkin. Has space. Sends it across. Here's the shot. Theodore blocked by Slavin. Theodore again, and it got blocked out of play as it went off a skate. And the faceoff will remain in the D zone when we come back as USA and Canada are in a pressure cooker. It's 1-1 in the third period. Hellebuck with the save of arguably USA's international existence as he was able to deny Devon Taze on the goal line with just the very bottom of his goal stick. Back in a moment here in Milan, tied at 1. Face off to the left of Hellebuck. That's won by the Canadians, but unfairly, as welcome back into the broadcast. Just a hair over 13 minutes remain in a regulation time. Tied at 1 in this gold medal game. Matthews and McKinnon off the draw that Matthews wins. McAvoy controls for Team USA. My name's Jaric Rubel. Glad you've joined me here in this Sunday gold medal game early here in the United States, as it's been a great one. On the far wing, the Americans' Gensel will send a puck back in the near corner of the Canadian zone. It's grabbed by McKinnon. Backhanded up to Stone. He got tied up with Matthews, but plays it across to McCarr now. McCarr with the Canadian goal in this game, given to Taze, who assisted on it. Played up the near boards by Taze into the American zone. It'll be grabbed now by Charlie McAvoy. He glides with speed up through neutral ice. On the far wall, he hits Boldy. Boldy will wrist it in around the goal it goes. On the near corner, it bounces there where Sanheim and Gensel go after it. Theodore and Boldy as well, as Boldy backhanded it to the far wall, lifted Wilson's stick, but it doesn't allow USA to grab the puck, as Marchand touches out the center on the near wing for Sanheim to wrist in. Around the dasher that goes. In behind to the far corner, Sanderson trying to bring it to the near, gets roughhoused by both Marchand and Bennett, as now Marchand trying to control the puck, couldn't, as behind the goal it's lost to Hannafin, who's out there for a rare third period shift. Behind the goal for Team USA is Jake Sanderson now with under 12 minutes left in regulation time. Hannafin out the center on the near wall for Nelson into the Canadian zone. Nelson here trying to generate space in the slot for Jack Hughes, left it in the corner for him. Hughes a backhander that deflected off a skate to the far wall. He gets back on it and good edge work. Keeps the puck in onside, but now it'll roll out and Hagel will carry on the near boards into the American zone. He goes, fanned on a wrist shot opportunity. Puck rolls in behind to the trapezoid for Nelson to glide up the far wall with it. Played back to himself now as his sticks get tied up, but he backhanded it out to center, and Harley takes back over for Canada. 11:15 now in this third period. Harley on the reset. Near wall Hagel over the American line for McDavid. Back behind Brandon Hagel. McDavid gets it back to the far corner. It's played Hagel again. Rolled it up the goal to the point, but McCarr isn't there, and it goes all the way back down. And now Canada has to get back as Binnington will leave it. McCarr on his backhand from the trapezoid up the near wall Celebrini. Nice pass to the logo McKinnon. He's in. Near wall McDavid over the line. Send it across. Here's Celebrini. Back for McKinnon, but it's intercepted. Now McKinnon open net. He hit the side of the net. Wide open net, and he missed the target. Behind the goal now, battling for it is Eichel. He backhands it up. You can't make this up. Now the Americans on the far wall. Here comes Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes into the zone. Cuts behind the Canadian net. Near circle now. Cutting up high. Riding the line. Goes to the far circle. Werenski in the slot. Save Binnington. Rebound. Tage can't bury it. It's loose. Free to the near wall. Werenski with it. Goes across to Quinn Hughes. What is happening right now? Hughes a long slap shot. Blocked to the near corner. Now it's battled for. Celebrini gets run over by Tage Thompson. Now a battle in the near corner, squirted up the wall and sent out by Canada as USA there almost found a way as now both teams recharge and reset with half the period remaining, 10 minutes exactly. So Werenski to Sanderson. Far wall, up it goes, missing an American into the Canadian zone for Doughty to possess. He goes up straight away for Reinhart, has a cup-winning goal in 2024. Played it behind the American net. Into the near corner it goes. Reinhart bumped it back up this way to Sanheim. For Reinhart, along the near boards, at the circle. Button hooks on his forehand. Now on his backhand, gets mashed into the boards by Brock Faber. Puck loose where Matthew Tkachuk played it behind his own net for Werenski, who flips one sky high to the red line. It bounces over the Canadian blue now to Sanheim, who gloves it like a shortstop. Slid it across now to Doughty, who goes up ahead for Horvat, who dropped it on the near wing, but can't hit Sanheim or Jarvis. And Jack Hughes circles back in his own zone. Jack Hughes at his own blue line. Left it for Nelson for Slavin as he couldn't get a rush started. As now on the far wall, here's Sanderson. Up it goes, tipped into the zone by Hughes on net. Binnington to stick it away. He backhanded it right up to center ice. It's going to be kicked to the stick by Slavin. Onside into the zone far wing. Played around the goal again. 9 minutes left in the third period. In the near corner, Jack Hughes still out there. Chipped it. It's whacked by a high stick, but Canada not out though. It's thrown to the goal and saved made there by Binnington on Slavin's shot. Now he has to get back as he's turned around. Martyr on the far wing. Break it to the net. Suzuki, and the pass was in front of him. He gets it out of the near corner. Up it goes to Stone. Slid across now to Parayko out of his reach. Matthews on the loose puck for Team USA. Backhanded it off the far glass. Now they can't touch it. Is it going to be too many men on the ice? They don't call it. And we're going to play on here as everybody was looking for it. Meanwhile, Taze on the near wing back into the American zone. Left it near circle. Marchand cutting down low. Brad Marchand, 5-0 in international play with a long shot from the far circle. Save by Hellebuck. Rebound on top of the paint. It's loose. Clean up. Marchand save Hellebuck. Still free. Taze can't grab it. And it comes all the way back out to center as this is some of the most electric hockey we've seen in a long time. And now a steal. And now it's backhanded into the Canadian zone by Larkin. Americans now on the forecheck. Around the goal it goes back out the center as the Canadians get it out. It's wristed back in though once again by Werenski. Under 8 minutes to go in this third period. McCarr being hounded in the far corner by Miller. Does get it near side Celebrini. Celebrini up ahead for Bennett over the American line. Here's McKinnon with a shot off the end boards. Came back in front. Cleared to the corner by Eichel. Back in behind McKinnon. McKinnon now working free on Eichel. Played it up to the point for Sanheim. Cross far point. One-timer Theodore. Rebound. And it's no second opportunity given as Connor Hellebuck squeezes it for a whistle as he sits on his wallet in the blue paint. We need a breather. Let's take a timeout, shall we? 1-1 here in the third with under 8 minutes remaining in regulation. I don't know how much of a breather we all really got. But back here in Milan, tied at 1 in the gold medal game, US and Canada battling for the gold. And what a sequence we've had here end to end. Each goalie making big saves, good opportunities, and Connor Hellebuck in net for Team USA, making the most sensational stops for his team, keeping them in it. This game could be 4-1, 5-1, or beyond in favor of Canada if it wasn't for Hellebuck. Face off to his left, won by McDavid, 7.5 to go in the third. Near side, Sanheim plays it down behind the goal. Larkin will play it up, and it gets out to center. Brady Tkachuk trying to move it along, got tied up between the benches with McDavid. Quinn Hughes to help him out, takes the puck back. Sends it this way on his backhand to McAvoy. The Long Beach native goes rink wide to Brady Tkachuk in front of the Canadian bench. Snapped it on to Binnington, who poked it to the far corner. Now Eichel trying to create a steal here on his teammate in Vegas, Theodore. Poked it along the wall, got it back. Jack Eichel did create it. Up to the point, here's Quinn Hughes. This way, McAvoy. Near side, Jack Hughes down low. Trying to stuff it home, and it's free to the far corner as McKinnon's watching him. Jack Hughes trying to poke it from McDavid. Couldn't, as it's now free to Sanheim on the near side. Now Celebrini. Up for McKinnon. In transition, as Quinn Hughes turned around, a backhand and a spinorama, right bad save by Hellebuck. Rebound near corner. Bennett went hard himself into the corner, and a penalty is coming up here, and it's going to go on Team Canada as delayed penalty coming up here. Hellebuck to the bench. Matthew Tkachuk galloping through center. Left it at the Canadian blue line. Beautiful stick handle by Nelson to the near boards, but his pass gets blocked by Wilson, and the whistle goes, and Team USA is going to the man advantage as Sam Bennett has taken a penalty here for Team Canada as he went hard into the near boards, taking down Jack Hughes, and Team USA to the power play. So this game's got every bit of drama unfolding in this third period as McKinnon tried a spinorama backhand against Team USA, as Patrick Kane's probably watching on thinking that should be him playing out there, as it was a high stick on Bennett as he was falling. Not sure if it was inadvertent or not, but it hit Jack Hughes right in the nose, so it doesn't matter. And it's a 4-minute, yes, a 4-minute double minor being issued to Sam Bennett as there was blood to Jack Hughes that I did not catch. And now John Cooper, just like I said Devon Toews was earlier, looks like he's seeing ghosts on the Canadian bench. And USA killed off a Canadian 5-on-3 last period, now has their opportunity with a 4-minute double minor power play to go on top in the gold medal game. Face off to the right of Binnington. Horvat beats Matthews. Toews will wrap it up the near boards, and down the ice it will go. You only see 2 minutes on the clock on the screen, as I could only give 2 minutes. There's no 4-minute option, as there's 3:45 to go now on this double minor to Sam Bennett. The Americans, Matthews through center. Eichel into the zone. Dropped it over the line for Thompson, but it came out, and now he has to recoil. Lost possession as Devon Toews gets it, played it on the near wing, but it's cut back off, and Thompson will go to Tkachuk. And Matthew pirouettes here at the logo and left it for Matthews. They can't even enter the Canadian zone right now as 40 seconds have gone by on this power play. Matthews now in, far wall, hits Matthew Tkachuk. Tkachuk will ring it around the goal. It came to the near boards, Thompson. Near corner now. Matthews bobbles it, can't grab it, but it came to Tage. Back to the corner, Matthews. Shielding here on Devon Toews. Austin Matthews pivots to his backhand. Behind the goal, Tkachuk centered it up high, and Quinn Hughes will keep it in as now he controls right point. Along the boards in the corner, it's Matthews. Austin Matthews looking over the traffic. 4 Canadian defenders looking at him. Went up high to Hughes across one time. Eichel save. Rebound on the doorstep. Matthew Tkachuk can't finish it. Came free to the near corner. Now a battle for it's picked up by Matthew Tkachuk. Tied up with Horvat. Lost it. Marner takes it. And Mitch Marner now at the red line plays it back. And now Harley will kill some more clock. 2:37 to go on this power play for USA. In come the Canadians, though, shorthanded on the near wing, Stone. Stone here bobbling it, then loses possession as Brady Tkachuk knocked it to the near wing. And with under 5 minutes to go in the third period and 2:20 on the American power play, they're back in on the far wing. Played to the far quarter by Jack Hughes. Up it goes to the point. Werenski this way for Gensel. Down the wall it goes to Boldy. Boldy now protecting, goes back up top to Zach Werenski. Boldy once more near circle for Werenski at the right point. 2:05 left on the power play. Jack Hughes far circle. In the slot, Gensler shot block. Rebound came free to the near side. Jack Hughes scoops it back up. Goes across at the far wall. It's Werenski. Back up top. Jack Hughes one-timer off the end boards. Where is it? In the trapezoid. Werenski to the near side. Minute 50 to go on the power play. Along the boards in the corner is Boldy. Boldy trying to backhand it. Couldn't. Hagel cut it off. And he's not. Who he does get it out as Werenski tried to keep it on one knee but couldn't. Team USA tagging up. Canada changing on the fly. 95 seconds on the power play. Jack Hughes in, gets tied up by two Canadians and loses possession. It's played back out to center. Back in comes Werenski. Near wall, it's Boldy. Boldy here in the final 85 of the power play. Under 4 minutes now in the third period. Played it around the Canadian goal. Now bobbling, it's Jack Hughes, and a high stick came up and got Bo Horvat. Now here comes McCarr. McCarr over the American line. Got stripped of it there, but no whistle given yet as Boldy knocked it out to center. And now Marner circles back as he's going to try and kill as much clock as he can to give Canada as much power play time as possible. As he's just chilling now in behind his goal line. Near Wallet, Celebrini drops it back for Mitch Marner. Time's just ticking here as the Americans will now touch up, as the Canadians will have a 49 seconds of 4-on-4 time to work with. And then they will have a minute and 11 seconds here at the end of regulation to try and give themselves the lead and win the gold medal. So Jack Hughes with a high stick to the chin of Bo Horvat as he goes to the box for 2 minutes. The Canadians survive the American double minor power play, and we'll see how this ends up. So Binnington, man, in the blue paint, avoiding that Tkachuk try, as in the blue paint. Did he get a piece of it? He did with the left pad, and then on the second try, the left skate of Taves was there to clean it up. Now 49 seconds of 4-on-4 time, and then Team Canada will go to the power play here late in regulation as Jack Hughes watches on from the penalty box. So face off in the O-zone for Team Canada. It will be, we'll see if they choose to the left or right of Connor Hellebuyck, as Canada with 40 shots on net to Team USA's 27 is looking to put themselves in the driver's seat now after this 4-on-4 time expires and they go on the man advantage. Face-off will be to the left of Hellebuyck, Suzuki, and Matthews, as Matthews is able to win it clean, and Quinn Hughes will control. Now Quinn Hughes still with open ice, 4-on-4 again. The U.S. isn't shorthanded yet. We'll leave it for Jack Eichel. Eichel now through center on the near wall. Makes Marner turn around, gets into the Canadian zone. Makes a couple men miss with a shot far side, missed to the blocker side of Binnington. Now rebound to Quinn Hughes, who circles back out to center ice. Under 25 seconds now, 4-on-4 time. As McAvoy turned it over on the near wall. Here comes McDavid with speed. Quinn Hughes turned around. McDavid pivoting to his backhand now. Watching and played it back out to center ice. Onside, Celebrini's back in. Celebrini, a shot, missed to the glove side and got the glass. Back up to the far point. Here's McKinnon. This way, Celebrini. Across, picked off by Eichel. He can't play it down as it would be icing. He sends it down the ice. The Canadian penalty's up. They're on the power play now for a minute 11. Now under 2.5 to go in regulation time, as here comes Nathan MacKinnon, leaving it at the logo for McDavid. Far wall, McKinnon's back in. McKinnon being watched by Slavin. Down low behind the goal to the near corner he goes. Nathan MacKinnon looking for somewhere to go. Down low, Suzuki will give it right back. Or Reinhart, rather. McKinnon near circle. And this letter's a shot. Celebrini shut down Hellebuyck. Rebound far corner. McDavid has it poked away. Cleaned up but not out. McCarr keeps it to the far circle. Up high, it's McDavid. This way, McCarr. Waiting. McKinnon near circle. Across it goes. Deflected by Larkin. Celebrini controls. Up for McDavid. McDavid to McCarr. McCarr waiting. Nelson watching him. Back to McDavid. Top of the far circle. Back to McCarr at the point straight away. This way, McKinnon. Waiting. Looking for a tip save. Rebound. Celebrini couldn't get there. In the far corner. Larkin gets it. He can't clear. It goes off of McDavid's skate. Slavin in behind. Touched it up. Terrible play as it won't get out. He had to play. He had to shoot it down and he nudged it. Near wall, it's McKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon looking. Waiting with 10 seconds to go on the power play. It's not Celebrini. Missed the net to the blocker side. It's one arm down the ice and the Americans have killed it off. So with 83 seconds to go, we're back to full strength as we are still tied at 1 here, as this gold medal game is so intense. The Americans still 100% on the PK this tournament. Parayko up the far wall. Final 70 seconds. Played back to neutral by Team USA. Harley and Parayko reset once again. On the far wall, Suzuki will wire it in. 1 minute left in the third period. Now McAvoy on the near side sent it down the ice. It won't be icing in the Canadian zone. Harley collects. Sent it back up the wall. Near wall, it's Marner over the American line. Final 46 on his backhand. Gensel drives him into the near corner boards. Free puck picked up by Werenski. Zach Werenski off the near boards, plays it onto the blade of Boldy. Poked off of his stick back to center. Now Werenski in front of the penalty boxes. Baseball swings one in. Half a minute remaining in a regulation time. Up the far wall. Pass finds Mark Stone. Rink wide at the logo. Here's Taze over the line. Has it now as he goes into the far corner. Button hooks. Dropped it back off at the point. Wilson had a shot blocked by Matthews on the far wall. His backhander will get out to center. 15 seconds to go in regulation as Canada has to tag up. Doughty fires it back in. Around it goes to the far corner. Picked up by Matthews once again. Tied up with Marchand. It's out. Will it go for icing? The foot race is on. No icing, says the official. And the clock will wind out here in regulation. And we are going to overtime in the gold medal game. USA and Canada, just like 2010 and just like last year's Four Nations, are going the distance, as 60 minutes is not enough to determine a winner in this one. No goal scored in that third period. One heck of a goaltending performance by Connor Hellebuck at one end, Binnington with some good saves at the other, and I don't mean to make that sound one-sided, but Connor Hellebuck has kept his team in this game where they've been heavily outplayed by the Canadians. So overtime on its way in the gold medal game. It will be a 20-minute overtime period played at 3-on-3 until a goal is scored. There will be 18-minute intermissions between each overtime period. As there is no shootout, we will go until a golden goal is scored. So don't go anywhere. I want you all right here with me live on YouTube for overtime in this gold medal game between the United States and Canada. You're listening to the 2026 Winter Olympics with Jaric Rubel live here on YouTube. Overtime is next between the United States and Canada for the gold. Welcome back in here to the broadcast live on YouTube. Overtime in the gold medal game. United States and Canada tied at 60 minutes. Not enough. Jaric Rubel hanging out with you here live on YouTube. And before this overtime begins, we got to have a little heart-to-heart here, as I am a huge hockey fan, and this game right here is by far the biggest stage while I've been bringing a broadcast to you all for. And this moment right here in overtime has my heart beating. I hope yours is too, as there is nothing better than do or die elimination hockey for all the marbles. And in this game, we've seen just that. A sensational goal scored by Matthew Boldy 6 minutes in by Matthews and Quinn Hughes with the assists. Boldy split the D on Taze and McCarr of Team Canada and was able to get one past the pad of Jordan Binnington. And then late in the second period, with a minute 44 remaining, it was Cale McCarr, his second of the tournament, set up by Devon Taze as they get redemption for being danced around on that opening goal by Team USA. So both of these teams have played overtime once before in this tournament. For the Americans, it was Quinn Hughes against the Swedes in the quarterfinals that propelled them on. And then for Team Canada in the quarterfinals as well against Team Switzerland, it was the Canadians' Mitch Marner that was able to find the back of the net and make it a 3-2 Canadian win. And Czech Republic, my apologies, not Switzerland, as they took on the Finns. As we are getting set here for these teams to hit the ice and begin this 3-on-3 overtime. There was a bunch of penalties at the end of the third period. A high stick that was a double minor on Sam Bennett gave the United States 4 minutes of power play time, and then just shy of the half-minute mark before it expired, Jack Hughes then took a high stick, and the Canadians then had a minute and 11 power play time after it expired, the 4-on-4 time that is, and both teams came up empty-handed. Both teams 0 for 3 on the man advantage in this game. So who will it be with the golden goal? There's somebody with an Olympic moment on their stick as they get set to take this face off here to begin overtime. Binnington and Hellebuck sensational in their blue paints as Hellebuck's got the save of the year. There's no questions asked. You don't even have to put an NHL save in there. This Olympic save on Devon Taze by Hellebuck with the puck on top of the blue paint looking like an easy tap-in is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best save we've seen in hockey since Braden Holtby on Alex Tuck back in the 2018 Stanley Cup Final. So again, consecutive overtimes, 20-minute periods. It's 3-on-3, and obviously a goalie at each end. And sudden death, the first team to score will win the game and bring home the gold medal. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, as these teams are now out at center ice, ready to begin a frantic 3-on-3 overtime. The pace is going to be otherworldly in this. You're going to see so much chaos. It might end quick. It might take a while. But one of these two teams is walking out of Milan with a gold medal wrapped around their neck. So Matthews for this draw for Team USA. He'll go up against Nathan MacKinnon. And the wingers will be Matthew Boldy and Connor McDavid, the defenseman Cale McCarr and Quinn Hughes. Canada attacking right to left again as we don't change ends in overtime. America going left to right in this extra frame. Linesman Scott Cherry's out at center, set to drop the puck. And right away they do it all over again as they both went, and McDavid and Boldy came crashing in and hit the linesman. And now we wait as Cherry looks over his shoulder, and we'll wait again. As I could only imagine on TV, Eddie Olczyk's losing his mind saying, drop the puck already. As now it looks like the third time should be the charm. And the puck is dropped, Canadians control, and Boldy takes it away from McDavid. Boom, McDavid gets it right back, and the Canadians will control to begin overtime. McCarr out here with MacKinnon and McDavid. MacKinnon left it at his own blue line for McDavid. Flies up through center. Had the Four Nations winner. Fanned on his shot in the slot here. Puck picked up by Boldy. Here comes USA. Stretched up on the far wing. Quinn Hughes with it. Over the line he goes. Dropped it in the slot. Boldy for Hughes. A shot. Oh, and what a save by Jordan Binnington. He got it with the glove. It might have hit the post. Here's MacKinnon the other way out to center. Americans changing. MacKinnon into the slot with a shot save. Hellebuck rebound. He wants to play it, but he'll trap it and get the whistle with 19:24 to go in overtime. Oh, the Americans, Quinn Hughes. Did he hit the post or did Binnington get this with the glove on this one-timer? And Binnington did get it with the glove. It just hit the tippy top of that glove. And the Americans so close to gold early here in overtime, robbed by Binner. Face off to Hellebuck's right. Horvat out there for this draw against Trocheck. He wins it. Tays controls for Canada. To Celebrini, the 19-year-old with 10 points in this tournament. He exits the zone as Horvat heads to the bench. Onto the ice now steps Marner, who had the overtime winner against Czechia in the quarterfinal. Dropped it for Celebrini at the logo. In he comes to the near circle. He'll leave it for Devon Tays. Now Celebrini has it again up high between the circles. By the dot, took a shot. Blocked by McAvoy. He's moving up ahead. On the near wing, McAvoy bobbled it. Lost it. Marner will take it back, and he skates back in his own zone for Canada. A minute 7 played here in overtime. Drop pass for Celebrini. Joining him on the ice now is Cale Makar again. He gave it to him on the near wall. Celebrini. Puck was out of his reach, but he was able to stay with it and grab it. Moved it back out to neutral ice now as the Canadians want to get him off the ice, and McKinnon steps back on with McDavid. McDavid activating on the far wing, blows by Larkin. He's in on his backhand, driving to the net. McDavid poke check there nicely by Jack Hughes in behind. Near wall, here's Werenski. One-armed it along for Jack Hughes, tipped it ahead. Werenski on the near wing, going after it. Playing against McDavid. Eichel got it away. Werenski across, Hughes' shot, he scores! Jack Hughes, the goal that is forever golden! Olympic gold in Milan for the Americans! Jack Hughes for Johnny, for America, and for the first time in 46 years, Team USA has won Olympic gold! Jack Hughes with the overtime winner as he was able to beat the goaltender Jordan Binnington to the high glove side, as there are a bunch of dejected Canadians on the other end as Team USA has won in overtime. What a game. Yeah, it was capped off by Jack Hughes, but through all of that, Connor Hellebuck, you are the man. What a performance in goal for Team USA. Truly some of the most sensational work in the blue paint I have seen by a goaltender in my 15 years of watching this great sport of hockey. And the United States has taken down Canada for the first time in an Olympic medal round. So what a time here in Milan, as we've yet to even get a replay of the goal here on the telecast, as these set of USA skaters, man, there's 25 men who put this American jersey on, the coaches as well, head coach Mike Sullivan, as man, oh man, they did it. To the Goodrow family, to the millions watching back home in America, this one indeed belongs to the Americans, as Team USA's men's Olympic ice hockey team is forever golden here in Milan, Italy. So a recap of the scoring in this one. 6 minutes into the game, it was Matthew Boldy who was able to have a sensational goal as he split the D on Makar and Tays as he went past Binnington's pads there, as I'm still gathering myself, and gave the Americans the 1-0 lead. Cale Makar tied it late in the second, his second of the tournament from Tays, the snapshot from the right circle. And now here's a replay of the overtime winner as we get a look at it here, as we get some good footage, as draping up on the near wing was Zach Werenski, as he was able to feed it across to Jack Hughes, as Werenski got knocked off the puck and stayed with it, snapped it across. And how fitting is it that Johnny Goodrow's teammate in Columbus, Zach Werenski, gets the feed across to the overtime winning goal scorer, Jack Hughes, and a storybook finish here in Milan is finally complete for Team USA. As that shot by Hughes, it looks like it went under the left pad of Binnington, as we finally get some good looks at it, as it went past his left pad down on the ice, And just like Patrick Kane says, these new waves of shooters have to keep that puck on the ice when they shoot. Goaltenders aren't ready for it. And Jack Hughes, who models his game after Patrick Kane, ends up winning it, as now they show Guy Gaudreau in the crowd with tears coming down his eyes, cheering on Team USA, father of Johnny, as they now skate his jersey around the ice. Matthew Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, and Zach Werenski with American flags draped on their backs, because that's quite the emotional moment here, as Team USA gets this done here, as they'll get together and pose for a picture and get their medals handed to them, as it is quite the celebration here for these groups of guys. As we take a look at the Gaudreau family, as it is tough to watch knowing what happened to Johnny and his brother Matthew 2 summers ago. Attending their sister's wedding in New Jersey is just a tragic drunk driving accident that cost the lives of those 2 beautiful young hockey players. And now, after defeat in the 4 nations, Team USA able to come out here on top with an Olympic gold medal against Team Canada. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, as it's been one heck of an Olympic journey for the last 6 days. 6 games in 6 days now complete, and the NHL will resume action on Wednesday. I'll be back with you on Thursday as the Detroit Red Wings head to Ottawa to take on the Ottawa Senators in what will be an incredibly important game in the Atlantic Division standings. But for now, I leave you with joy as the United States in overtime beats Canada 2-1. Jack Hughes from Werenski, the overtime winner. And this one belongs to the Americans. My name is Jaric Rubel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with me early on this Sunday. The Americans win the gold medal here in Milan for the first time in 46 years as they beat Canada 2-1. I'll talk to you all on Thursday from Ottawa. Again, my name is Jaric Rubel saying so long. Enjoy the closing ceremonies. And the United States of America, their men's ice hockey team, Olympic gold medalists here in Milan.